I just fucking love fucking that so much. It's so stupid kid shit. This is the Imperial Scrolls of Honor podcast. I'm Josh Folan.
And I am Jay Baxtron.
And we are going to be bullshitting about the formative years of console gaming as we revisit the periodicals that covered it again. Maggot plucking our nostalgia strings today, we're hopscotching through my very first issue of Nintendo Power when I was just a wee tot, issue 11. You can find the issue on archive.org if you want to look at the shit we're looking at. I'll drop the link in the show notes, as I always do. Please rate and review the podcast. If you like the shit that we're doing here, it makes us feel great about ourselves. And first up is what we're jamming on now. Jay, what are you jamming on now besides that Outriders thing behind you right now? In addition to.
I mean, first of all, this game is amazing. I mean, is it not? Like, I'm telling you, like, I can't say enough about it. Like, when you get farther into this game, Outriders, the class abilities are just, the way it's done is just so well. You know, you're able to get multiple modifications to your gear, which modify those skills. So you can decide, like, if you want to add more damage to them or extend their duration or trigger them multiple times. And you can kind of stack these modifications. And so you're able to kind of like really plan your strategy each time you go into a battle. And it's so easy to do it. Like, some games, crafting is like this heavy, like, cumbersome process, and it's just so well done, and it's a fun game. Like, despite everything, it's a blast. So I could talk about the game freaking all day long. Other than that, playing Super Mario World 3D, like, we're on World 7 now, so that's a game, like, I've talked about it before. It's just like an updated version of Super Mario 3 / Super Mario World. Like, it's just really fun, and it's multiplayer in 3D, so it's a blast. And then from time to time, just playing a little ESO, you know.
Of course.
Picking it up, you know. I haven't been able to put it
down. I feel like I've seen a surge of support for it or something like that. Are they like, I don't know. I'm not tuned in enough, but I feel like I see it a bunch right now. And I feel like I hear people talking about it on the podcast circuit and shit. And that's weird because it's such an older thing. I feel like, why would people be talking about it?
Well, right now? It did. I think maybe it's because it did recently become the, like, most played MMO in North America or something, like surpassing World of Warcraft or whatever the previous high was. So maybe that's it. And it also had like a big revamp to its champion system. So whenever you're a veteran player, you're doing all the in-game content.
You mentioned there was a change, and I was like, I think this all kind of has some correlation.
And it was significant. So they changed a bunch of stuff and made it a lot, better, in my opinion. And so it just made it more interesting, in addition to, some more content as you would normally get, not that they were standard release. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's fun enough, especially if there's people who are coming back to it. And I think that's also the thing, like, because of that, people that I used to play with back in our Elder Scrolls guild days also started playing again. Mm-hmm. And so, it's kind of like, hey, how you doing? You're kind of like hanging out with your old friends again, picking up the old
catching stuff up in the dungeons. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
That's pretty much it, man. What about you?
I did. So I was playing that Pillars of Eternity, and I kind of weaned off that a little bit. It's just, I don't know. It's just a lot, and it's hard to fucking. Maybe I'll go back to it, but in trying to find something that's kind of like that, like my main quest of sorts, on the Xbox, I started replaying Fallout New Vegas, and I'm doing it on survival mode for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So, that means you got to eat, deal with water and shit, and it's just like a higher level of management, with the character, and that has made it interesting. And it's been so long. Like, I haven't played it in years, so I don't recall everything, and that's, obviously a nice touch. So I'm not going to say, like, there's very few things that, like, if I really get into that are just, like, never seen that before, but, it's not like the second I walk up to someone, I don't know what to do. And that is, as much as you can ask for a replay of a game that you 100%ed at some point. You know what I mean? So been playing a lot of that. I had that download surge when I got Fallout New Vegas, actually, where I got Wolfenstein on Game Pass,
Okay.
and I tried it, man.
How
It's
is
like
that?
it's it's like every other dickhead modern FPS, and it's just no fun
Uh,
at all. Despite like that's despite an obvious amount of just insane development and effort and money put into it. You can just see that they spent so much money to make this thing happen, but it was so boring.
uh,
Like the opening
that's the
sequence.
worst.
Yeah, the opening sequence was cool, and like I don't know. I think there's been a couple Wolfenstein installments since the original, which is the last one that I really played with any amount of real focus. And there's just a lot of the enemies were, I don't know, they're just like the opening was this big ass robot dogs or something. They were like, I don't know, it was like it was it became a little surreal. Like it had this, the opening sequence was like you're in a plane and you're like doing this dog fighting stuff and you get shot down and then you're trying to save the people that you got shot down with and shit. And I don't know, it was just like I don't know, it didn't feel, I don't know, like Wolfenstein and Doom and those early FPSs are just, you just run and gun, you're just going and like shooting shit, and like this was like I had to fucking going under things. It's just like it was more, it was like a bad stealth game is kind of what it felt like. You know what I mean? As opposed
Like they
to
were trying to do different stuff and it just didn't really work out.
yeah, it's not why I want to play that game. Like, if I would play a game that is more geared towards that and done from the ground up and good. If I wanted to play that kind of game, I don't know. And then when I got to the run and gun parts, it wasn't any fun either. So yeah, I deleted it after, maybe an hour of fucking with it.
I think I looked at like play footage of that, when I saw it was on Game Pass or whatever, and I just looked at it and I was like, pass. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
I can
it's
just
just
tell.
like and that's what you talk about. Not Pillars of Eternity. I was talking about that, not you. The Outriders, and that's kind of my thing with Outriders. Like, there's I know I understand that those developments, those skill trees and stuff are, and I've heard good things said about those too, just in relation to what's available to you in an FPS normally, and I can see how that is higher level than most FPSs would be, but it's like to me, it's just minutia. It's just minutia that it doesn't affect the game experience.
I feel like at the level you're at, it doesn't, like, you haven't got there yet. Like you
I
haven't
can
done
see it for sure. I mean,
like
I had fucking
yeah.
what 34 hours, if that, maybe not even that. So I can see that being the case. And if you got further down the tree, maybe it would be a more of a differentiation. I heard that one of the things I did hear that I was saving, we were bullshitting about this before we jumped on. I think it was the Cheap Ass Gamers podcast. We're talking about it, that I guess it's a pretty big story that the network stuff was just a nightmare from the release. Yeah. Have you heard
Yeah,
this?
but I mean, it's been great now though. Like for
They
me,
fixed
like
it.
I've been having no problems. Yeah, like those first couple of days, yeah, failing all the time. But since then, I've had like no problem. I've been jumping in, like with the guy from our old Elder Scrolls guild. Like he's been jumping in and playing with me from time to time, hanging out. Like it's been pretty smooth ever since. Yeah.
Word, yeah. I mean, I'm not totally opposed to it, but it's shoot.
But once you
Died.
get into the stuff though, I'm telling you, you'll get more, like, because you'll want to rely on those skills, those abilities, much more than your guns. So I would say, like, in the beginning it was like 90-10 guns versus skills. But right now I'm easily like 70-30 skills versus gun usage.
See, but then it gets into then like you have fucking memorize them, and I'm just not geared
But there's
towards
only
that. Like,
three of them. Like it's really three abilities. So it's like I know what these three do because there's nothing else. You know what I mean? They're so
okay,
differentiated.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was the thing. I think that was the thing with Wolfenstein
It's
too. Like a bunch of shit. I'm like, it's just I can't. I
yeah.
don't care, man.
It's
I don't have to
I
learn a
think
whole new system like that.
I think that's the thing that I like about this, because like Destiny, which I like, it's fun. That is like you're shooting all the time. Like unless you have your special ability, you're shooting a gun, which is fine if you're in the mood for that. But I like where I'm not relying on that. Like there's often times where I'm just like skill blast, like eruption, and because I'm like a fire guy, it doesn't feel like I'm playing a shooter. You know what I mean? Maybe with yours, because you're a technomancer, yours is more like weapon type stuff. So maybe if you switched it up and tried one of the other classes, I don't know.
Well, yeah. Who knows what the fuck? I
Who
mean,
knows?
I'm assuming they all, you know. I mean, they're, you
Because
know,
mine is like wizard type stuff. Like I'm making eruptions happening, and magma fly, and volcanoes. Like I'm not like shooting a gun unless I'm shooting one of my guns.
right, right. I'd be surprised if any of the classes didn't have, you know, a full manifestation of whatever their tangent is, you know, and you had to rely on your gun. That would surprise me, but whatever. I'm not totally opposed to it, but I was definitely not nearly as jazzed as you. Anyhow, I had to bus home for a few days for some family shit. About a 5-hour flight, so I downloaded basically the 2021 end of season Tecmo ROM and actually got it from TecmoBowl.org. Which when we were talking about this last time, TecmoBowl.org had shut down, and they weren't. I had to like find another one early in the season when I got it, and I guess whatever, you know, I don't know if it was legal or not. I guess I don't have any idea. My guess is that it was legal, but they are now they have their you can download it right from TecmoBowl.org again. So that was cool. So yes, I basically got the end of season 1. So Josh Allen was fucking NFL record book wrecking good, which was awesome. So I played damn near a whole season of that on the flight. So that was fun, and I played a bunch of that. And while I was back in Ohio, dude, I started collecting football cards again.
What?
like Jab and I got just a hair up our ass. We were like, just trying to fucking do something to take our minds off shit, and went to, there's a flea market there, Jamie's Flea Market near Oberlin, and I was like, because we dropped in. I used to go to me and my uncle used to go to this B&B Sports Cards in Lakewood, Westlake, west side of Cleveland, and we used to go there all the time when I was in high school and like rip packs and shit. I would go through his singles. That's how I got every Bills card ever. Pretty much was going through this guy's singles boxes. I used to go there all the time and just hang out. Him, my uncle vibed. He's a cool dude. So we stopped in there, and I hadn't seen the guy in 20 years. And like my uncle will still talk to this guy every now and again, and they'll talk about me and Josh, yada yada yada. And this guy Bob was like, "Oh, fucking started saving Bill stuff for me," and he had, you know, whatever, and he kept telling me he was going to send it to her. Kept telling my uncle he was going to send it to me, and then, you know, so whatever. We decided that we were driving by, we decided to drop in. I haven't seen this guy in 20 years. I drop in and start bullshit with him, you know, and he spends the whole time he's looking for this box that he's supposedly been saving for me for 20 years. He's just looking. This guy. It's this dude. He's standing in the same spot. Like, I haven't seen this guy in 20 years. I haven't been in this card shop in 20 years. He is standing in the same fucking spot he would stand in at all times 20 years ago. So like nothing has changed in the store. There's still some of the shit like 1991 Upper Deck full set boxes and stuff. Like nothing has changed in this card shop in 20 years, which was hilarious. But so I got in there and I started, you know, I was like, I want to just rip a pack or two, you know. Jay, when's the last time you bought football cards?
Oh my gosh, dude! Like 1990. I would say 1992, but no, probably more like 1994 will probably be the absolute latest.
So the 90s. So not any time recently. So you don't know that football card packs are hundreds of dollars now. Do you know that?
What? No.
Right. Yeah. Dude,
What?
some of the boxes are thousands of dollars from the manufacturer. This is not resale. They come out of the manufacturer at wholesale prices for thousands of dollars. Some of them. What? I mean, you know, so the cheapest fucking pack that he had was, I think it was Score or $11.99, and there was another one that was $17.99. And those were like they were like bullshit awful sets and those are the only two. But everything else, you could even buy packs because they're so expensive. You just have to buy them by the box now. Like, insane, dude. And some of those boxes will have, you pay hundreds of dollars and they'll only be 6 packs with 4 cards each in them or something like that. It's fucking, the card market is fucking insane, dude. It is absolutely batshit insane. So yeah, I ripped a couple packs of those bullshit things, and I happened to pull a Josh Allen insert card out of the one. Like, I bought the one pack that had like 20 cards in it or something. I rip it, I go through it, and I'm like, Bob, you're fucking me, man. There's no bill. There wasn't any bills in that first pack. I was like, you're fucking me here. And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't put them in the packs. And so my uncle buys a pack of the other one, and I think that one had I think it was like a 40 card were in that pack. It's weird, dude. Like, even like inside the pack, they're not just randomly collated. Like, even inside a 40 card pack, there was like a whole section of rookie cards, a section of base cards, a section of insert cards, which is, you know, it's just, I think it demonstrates there's just like a different thing going on with the manufacturers. They like have a different
Mhm.
understanding of the product they're selling now than when we used to collect as kids, when it was just like widgets coming off a line. Like,
Whatever.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, they have an understanding of the value of these things now, and certain things being more valuable than others,
It's
and
like
incentivizing.
30% regular cards, 10% these cards. Like, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. So anyways, I pulled a Josh Allen fucking insert card, something or other, TD dive or some shit out of the one, and I'm like, oh fucking, I don't know. It just like sparked a thing in me, and we go to this flea market, and I was like, so I set boundaries for myself. I'm like, I'm only gonna collect rookie cards. I'm only gonna get his rookies, you know, because there's a million fucking sets now, dude. There's a million sets, you know. I actually bought the other day. I ordered off of eBay one of the Beckett's. The December Beckett has Josh Allen on it, right? So this past December. So I ordered that one just so I have a list of all the 2018 Josh Allens, because it's like trying to find it on the internet. I can't make heads or tails. Every card has like 40 variations. You know, there's a million inserts in every. There's just so fucking much that I literally had to buy a list basically off eBay just to have an idea of what I'm collecting. But yeah, so basically only 2018 fucking Josh Allen. So like I've spent. So I sold that New Mutants I got for $400 on eBay. So I'm basically financing at least the beginning, because I will definitely end up spending more than $400 probably on Josh Allen cards, because he's pretty fucking hot right now, and they're expensive in general. So yeah, I probably dropped, I don't know, maybe $100 at the flea market on those handful of them, and those are all like lesser ones. And I've gotten home and I've started fucking spending 50, 60, $70 on some of them on eBay. And dude, I mean, there are cards on there that are like $1,500, you know, like thousands of dollars. Well, I mean, there was one that sold recently. It was in the news that was like 600 grand. A Josh Allen. The graded ones obviously cost more when you get them PSA graded, but still, I mean, a $600,000 Josh Allen card. What? What do you mean?
What?
Yeah. What in the fuck, right? And Josh Allen is hot, but he's not the hottest fucking player. I'm sure there are players that fucking are selling for way more than that. In fact, I know there are. I know there's like Pat Mahomes and shit, Tom Brady's that are selling for millions and millions and millions of dollars, like graded ones, PSA 10s, you know. So yeah,
Wow.
that's what I'm saying is like I have like 47 auctions I'm watching on eBay all the time, getting notifications and like. Yeah. Have you ever bought anything on eBay? I want to have this diatribe too. Have you ever bought anything on eBay?
Dude, a long time ago. I haven't used eBay like in years. I feel like it was something I used back in like our 20s, and then like I was like, it's out of style. And I just never used it again. But clearly,
it's definitely not
clearly still.
Yeah, there's a mark on there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. To me, I was going to ask you, like, do you bid on things before? I mean, there's no. This is like blows my fucking mind. So like these auctions are 3, 5, 7 days, whatever you pick in the app, and the idea of bidding on something before, no joke, dude, 6 seconds left in the thing.
You gotta wait till the very end.
Fucking yeah. And every one of these cards has 20 bids on it with days left. And I'm like, who is the fucking moron? You know, unless it's literally just trolls that don't want to win it, which is also insane. You know what I mean?
Trying to mess up the bidding, like,
right,
like what other reason?
I just like I sit there and like a minute or two left, I'll fucking pull up the thing and I'll put in the amount that I'm willing to pay and just sit there and wait. Because at the top of the bid thing, they have a little line that says time left, current bid, and how many bidders there are at the top there, and you can just watch real time, so you can watch it count down to the seconds, and just hit confirm bid with seconds left, and like yes, if your amount isn't enough to whoever else has put in a higher thing, then you're not going to win it doing that. But you shouldn't. I mean, bidding on a motion like that is insane. None of these things are one of a kind. So like you should just have your amount that you're willing to pay and then put that in. But if you put it in days before, you're just driving the price up. And like I just can't. Like I literally I watch it happen. Especially the ones like just a couple minutes from, like from the end of the thing. I'm just like, who is the fucking moron? Like, who is the fucking moron doing that? Like, it's just fucking, it's the most incredible. Like, I cannot come up with a rationale, again, other than just being a troll, which is insane. There can't be that many trolls on eBay. There's just no way. Like, I just cannot come to grips with what kind of fucking complete dipshit is like, believes that it's even somehow productive to be bidding on things before the end. Like, I just don't get.
Uh,
I can't understand it. I wish that I feel like there needs to be a fucking PSA. Like, there needs to be like, I don't know, like a fucking something needs to happen. Like the PSAs of people. I don't know if you've seen it. Like, I'm hearing a lot of radio ads and seeing ads on YouTube and shit for telling people to not. I heard it the whole time I was in Ohio on the radio a bunch for people not to stop on railroad tracks. This is a thing now. People are dying on railroad tracks, and it's like, what do you mean people are dying on railroad tracks? Like, what do you mean people are stopping on railroad tracks? Like, who is stopping on railroad tracks? Where you need to make a PSA that I'm hearing on the radio? Who is the fucking idiot? And why are you sad we're losing them from the team pool? Like, let them go, man. Like, fucking Darwinism all the way on that. Like, you got to be kidding me, man. You know, if you're stopping on the railroad tracks, like, you're
like, how many of you
are dragging something else down too? That's not the only place you're failing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, give me a fucking break. We do not need to spend money. Like, there are whatever money was spent on that PSA, I am just universally certain that there is a better application of those dollars in the world that we live in than saving whoever is going to stop on those railroad tracks. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, fucking.
Oh my gosh.
Category to me, whatever. Lastly, the retro action, because again of its constant appearance in the mullet counselor sections and multiple nominations on the '89 Nintendo Power Awards, I finally just said fuck it and started playing the Guardian Legend. And we're never gonna do a game episode. It's way too much for that. And there's not enough literature. And I don't think it's right for a side quest. So it's kind of just like Metroid. I mean, it was before you jumped on the pod, but I did Metroid with this too. I was like, it's too much for a game app. We're never going to play it. We weren't even doing side quests then. So I was like, I'm just going to fucking play Metroid on my own. And just because I've never beat it and I feel like I should if I'm going to fucking this part of this little quest I'm on here with the podcast. So yeah, I started playing that and I'm doing it via stream on Facebook, an hour and here and there at a time. So by all means, listeners, drop in and tell me what I'm doing wrong because I'm definitely doing plenty. The first day I was playing, like I was, Yuri in particular, dude. That dude Yuri that motherfucker knows everything about every video game, dude. Everything. Every video game he's got like insightful shit. So please drop in and tell me what the fuck I'm doing wrong because it is. I've kind of gotten a handle on it now, but it was at first like a very steep learning curve to get an idea what the hell was going on. So I'm doing that mostly in the morning, just for like an hour on days that I have Pacific time, U.S. Pacific time mornings, and. So yeah, I ended up hitting a wall, and I mean, at first it was probably like 30 minutes or so I was playing it, and I did a manual skim, so I did that groundwork, so I wasn't going into it completely blind. But I did the manual skim, and even after that, dude, there's like some things I didn't get, but I was able to like get, sometimes when you try to just jump into these games, especially one with a lot to it, it can be very easy to be like, no, I can't. It's too old. I can't dedicate the emotion to get into this, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's often the hurdle with a game like this. I'm sure you're experiencing with Ultima, but yeah, so like exactly. So like that didn't happen to me here. Like I was immediately invested, and I thought that's a good sign, because like it opens up on that flying shmup thing. Like you don't even start on that overworld map. You start on a flying shmup thing, which should be for me like huge turn off. But the shmup shit is really well done, and the idea that again too when you get these games that try to diversify the gameplay styles, you usually get like two shitty things as opposed to you know what I mean. And in this case, like the flying shmup thing is fucking. It may be the best flying shmup on the NES. In all honesty,
Time out. What,
dude? Yes, as good as Life Force.
Dude, I played this, like, I don't know, it definitely came up months ago on something, because I played it and thought, okay, it's flying. There's no way Josh is even going to, consider this one. And because I opened back up and I had saved, because I had died flying, and I was like, yeah, we're never going to play this. I'm moving on.
So you didn't even get out of the...
No, I just died. Yeah, I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's not like it's the first one's a breeze too. I'm pretty sure I died on that very first one and had to restart. So yeah, it does not, it doesn't hold your hand, and it's difficult, and I've died a bunch. And yeah, so I mean, I had that first play session. I was like, okay, I'm into it, and I got into the second play session, and I hit a wall, and I was fighting a boss at this fucking crawdad thing in one of the boss battle, and I was cursing for like 30 minutes straight. I couldn't do it, fucking pissed off, So I was like, fuck this, I need to do more research. So like, I again, I had enough emotional investment to bust out the Nintendo Powers and go through them one by one, trying to find some information helpful,
Okay.
And issue 9 has a 4-page preview that has like the first 3 or 4 worlds in it, and taught me so many. There's like just one simple example. Some of the screens you'll walk on to on the overworld when you're the person, not the ship, and you'll walk onto the screen and an alarm plays like meh, 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 and then after a few seconds blocks start appearing to wall off the exits. So every time that's happened to me before I read the Nintendo Powers, I was like, fuck, and just ran off the screen and got, ran past the wall that was forming. And you don't want to do that. Like I read in the fucking Nintendo Power, that basically creates a little mini boss arena, and you beat the mini bosses and you get power-ups and pickups and stuff. Better, So I basically skipped all of those up to the third world or something, So I read that, I was like, fuck, so I got to go back and do all that. So like I learned a few things that made it more accessible, and sure enough, game got easier and I'm rolling again. And yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stick with it. It's pretty fucking fun and cool too. Honestly, looking at the Nintendo Power, it occurred to me for the stream to build a manual, or not a manual, I'm sorry, a mag window on the thing. So the stream now, my stream build now has a Nintendo, like a window for the CBR reader. So whatever mag I'm looking at for whatever game I'm playing, I can have open there for the viewer to watch, which, I don't watch a million streamers, but I'm guessing that's probably a rather unique streaming thing, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of fucking cool too. So yeah, so I'm gonna have the, whatever fucking I'm using, whatever literature I'm using for the game and while I'm streaming, I'll fucking have that open right underneath the
nice, man.
cam cap window, which is pretty fun. So yeah, so that's what the fuck I'm probably doing a lot of. And lastly, I put together some cool t-shirt designs with the ISH podcast title and artwork, and we'll be making them available via the Facebook page and subreddit. So all proceeds after podcast expenses, advertising, hosting, shit like that will be donated to the Able Gamers Foundation. So if you think art is cool, which I think it is actually very cool, thanks to our boy Video Nasties 87 on Instagram. You should check his shit out if you're not familiar with it. He does a lot of cool retro artwork inspired shit, like movie boxes and stuff like that. Anyways, you can grab those if you think that shit's cool, and it'll help out some a cool foundation. So let's get into Nintendo Power number 11.
That was the Super Mario Brothers 3 World 4 theme, and very underrated world, and often skipped world, but good.
It is often skipped. That's well put. Yeah, which is If you're doing the whistle thing, it's very easy to blow by what is the boots and shit are very cool in that world. So that is because we are looking at the March-April 1990 issue of Nintendo Power here, number 11. The cover price is $350, $450 Canadian dollars, and Super Mario Bros. 3 is the cover feature. You might have heard of it, the game. It is the high-flying adventure is their tagline for it, and the artwork gets back to that claymation style we've seen a number of times, and most referentially significant being the first issue, Mario 2. So this time though they do a much better job with the color palettes, and the characters shown are all correct and everything, and that's good because the Mario 2 one was a little messy on that first issue. First issue makes sense, but so yeah, Mario, the raccoon suit, he's raccoon suit enabled, and he flies up above a few set pieces from the Egyptian world 2. They have the angry sun there, that's in World 1 or 2, I think it is, and a chain chomp, there's a ton of those in there, a pile of gold coins, a palm tree, which I actually thought was a castle until I noticed behind the title treatment the leaves, that it's just, I don't know, it looks like one of the little tower that's in the desert thing there,
Oh yeah, I just figured. Oh yeah, it is. It does look like a castle, but it's
right.
A
yeah, exactly. So, anyways, all those are there, and then one of the Koopalines. That's Iggy Koopa by my research, and it looks fucking great. The character choices are dope. It makes me want to play Mario 3 a great deal.
100%. Clearly from our engagement on our Facebook page.
Yeah, for sure. No shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this cover just destroyed Facebook. Yeah. Anyhow, the one bullet point here is don't miss, and it alludes to a list of games below that is, honestly, when I was first looking at this, quite underwhelming to look at. There's Silent Service, there's 720, A Boy and His Blob, Pinbot, and Astyanax. Astyanax, perhaps? I don't know.
I've just been saying Astyanax.
Just
skipping all the stuff in the middle.
Yes. Yeah, when in doubt, just make it as short as possible and get through it as fast as you can. So
hey, it's all about Super Mario 3. Who cares? Like that's the clear message of this cover.
Maybe that was a creative choice, like a deliberate creative choice by them. Just like we don't want to fucking try to show up Super Mario 3 here. Let's put the weakest list we can possibly pick out of the pages inside. Although again, some of it's unfamiliarity. I wouldn't say in actuality they all are bad, but anyways. We'll get there. Lastly, there is Big Bonus, a 36-page Nintendo pack source game directory, and that's the pullout book of this month. And I'll absolutely fucking get into this when we hit the table of contents, because this thing, like one of the things, again, this would be my first issue, and me just poring over it I would have done even if this weren't the case, but waiting for my first issue to come off the subscription in the mail, that Super C issue next, took seemingly forever in my childhood. So daily, just fucking going through this thing over and over and over and over and over again. So that pack source thing, giving you some extra 36 pages of content, was something I soaked in a great deal. And
I never had that, dude. I was looking at this like, wait, what is this pack source thing? Like, I've never had this. Like,
I posted a screenshot from it. I couldn't find I'll get to that when we get there, but yeah, I couldn't find the actual a PDF of it, which bummed me out. But I did find like a piecemeal 1x1 scan series of all the pages, which is insane. And someone did that. That's on archive.org. You can download, but we'll get there. The first thing up inside is a 2-banger dropping an atomic bomb on kids' lives. Nintendo Power is about to start sending video game shit to your mailbox on a monthly basis now. And they are informing you that here. The headline reads, "Hey, it's twice the power, and now it's every month. Introducing Nintendo's new," and that's underlined, Mega Power package, which they describe this as, "With our new Mega Power subscription package, 1 month you'll get Nintendo Power, and then the next month your special edition strategy guide will arrive." And get this fucking shit, it's still $15 a year for twice the mags, which is pretty fucking wild if you think about that. What it is, it's a testament to obviously what this is. It's just you're paying $15 for a catalog, essentially. but as a kid, you don't process it that way. It's like, I'm getting twice as much for the same amount. Whew, this is going to be an easy sell to mom. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And they make the announcement the first strategy guide will be on Super Mario Brothers 3 here. The mock-up they depict here is way off on how they would eventually look, the strategy guides, I mean. But, what are you going to do? Again, kind of same, with the first issue, just like they're figuring this shit out as they go here. So, whatever. But I do like that they dedicated time and effort to disclaiming that may be the case. Like, they have a little fucking fine print there. Cover shown may not be the actual cover of the first issue. And, it's just like, what a terrible and fucking uptight world we live in where that is necessary. You know what I mean? Like, where they didn't feel comfortable just being like, fucking relax. You know what I mean? Whatever shows up, shut up. You'll look at it constantly for months. Like, just who cares what's on the cover?
We're giving you extra stuff for the same price.
Exactly, yeah. Be cool. Woosah, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Dude, did you notice how they keep saying multiple times in here that can't win without them tips? Like, are they saying that you're just not going to be able to beat certain games unless you have these issues, these strategy guides? Like,
you're a business guy. You want to demonstrate essentiality. You want to demonstrate that you can't live without this product. So that's like,
I'm like, they said that multiple times. I'm like, are you telling me right now?
Yeah.
I'm screwed without this issue. Like, Mom, I need it.
Oh, that I don't think I could have ever possibly. I don't think I've ever beaten Mario 3. But I couldn't. Yeah, I can't get through the fucking end, dude. The 8th level's a beast. But I never would have found the whistles, like the dropping behind the ball, like all that shit's in the strategy. Like without that strategy guide, no, I don't think maybe you do. So they're not even lying. On top of just using good sales tactics. You know what I mean?
Stop this issue right now. Like, you've never beat Mario 3, Josh. Like,
well, I didn't own it as a kid. Neither one of us did.
okay.
Neither or Jab owned it, so we didn't have the just like constant fucking opportunity to try. But I mean, I played it plenty, and I think Ted did have it, so I did have access to. I think I don't know.
It is the greatest 8-bit game. It is the greatest NES card of all time.
Not better than Mike Tyson's Punch.
It's not debatable. Mike Tyson's Punch Out is great. It's not the greatest of all time. I would say Super Mario Brothers 3 is the greatest, arguably, of the 8-bit cards.
Very arguably, because Mike Tyson's Punch Out is better. But it is a great game. I am not at all contesting that. I mean, like I said before, I like Mario 2 more than I like Mario 3.
Oh.
I think it's a more fun. Like this, this obviously has more depth to it.
Yeah.
But that is due in part because this is a latter NES stage thing that allowed them the opportunity to learn from past yada yada yada. So like, there's a lot of things where they're building on previous things to make this what it is, and and that's not again to discount what it did become or what it is, but I just as far as like pure fun factor, I enjoy 2 more.
What? Oh,
I mean, I'll play the shit out of it. It's fun as fuck, but yeah, I like 2 more.
I think I now need to discount your video game opinions by a certain percentage.
Most people probably do, Jay. You're not alone in that, I'm sure. Not just limited to video game opinions, probably in general. And so lastly, we go to this fucking guy's jacket here and matching friendship bracelets. Like, he's very 90s to the max, I guess, is maybe what I'm getting at here.
Sure.
Like that color scheme that he's rocking is just so high octane.
Dude. Are they trying to make it quickly, like let you know, like, oh, is this the guy from the Wizard holding the Nintendo stuff? Oh no, but he looks close enough like him. You know what I mean?
I don't know, because the Wizard is late 80s. Like I don't think we had gotten the Wizard.
The Wizard was 89, so this is like 2 months before, a couple months before. And now, since they're reintroducing Mario 3, or I don't know, man.
I think it's moving faster than that. You got to think about it. So yes, it was released in Christmas of '89, but they probably, that movie was probably produced, conceived, and then the costuming people in it are a little older. Like this is like cutting edge, like 1990. Dude. Like you did not have that fucking coat. It was not possible in the 80s. It just wasn't.
I don't know, man. 89 kind of blends, but I see what you're saying. It's definitely like,
yeah, dude,
it's like Saved by the Bell type colorful.
Yes,
90s,
fuck yes.
like,
Zach Baymiller or not Zach
DeVoe, like
not Zach Baymiller's the kid I went to high school with. What's his fucking name? Zach.
Why am I freezing it now? You got Turtle, you got AC Slater, you got Zach Morris.
Zach Morris, yes. Zach Morris would rock the shit out of that coat.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah. I think Screech owned it, actually.
Yeah, actually, you're right. That is I stand fucking entirely corrected. That is a Screech. Yeah. That is a Screech coat.
It might be some pants that like Zach wore, like a pants pattern type of thing.
Yeah. Should we talk about friendship bracelets, Jay?
I did not have many friendship bracelets.
No, you didn't? No good stories about friendship bracelets?
No, man. I remember I have those. I definitely had a jacket like this, but no bracelet. I had a slap bracelet, a slap Batman bracelet.
Okay, I think I like the slap bracelets. I was not really into. Like remember seeing them, and like I think I had 1 or 2 that I got from like those. Like the people would, I don't know, I'm assuming your school had this too, but like people would come and like when I think back on it, it was such a racket. Like companies would come and basically enlist children to sell shit for them, and then you would get prizes that like sell magazines and tapes and shit for them. Like literally,
popcorn,
it's crazy.
Like candy.
Exactly, it's fucking insane. Like you're literally exploiting children labor to sell your shit, and then compensating them with just awful compensation ratios. Like those things were valueless, but I feel like I got some slap bracelets from one of those fucking schemes. I said on one of those schemes, I sold Jab a Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch tape that never came. To this day, he brings up that I owe him a Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I think I sent it to him once years ago. I found it somewhere and sent him one. But yeah, for years he would bring up the fact that I stole the money for a Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch fucking tape. Ask him about it next time we do the next week when we side quest. Fucking ask him about it. He'll go into a whole diatribe about it. Anyway, so yeah, I did have I remember I fucking, it's not that I was like fucking friendship bracelet aficionado or anything, but I remember having one, a lime green one that I rocked for a while with little orange and black diamonds on it, and I have no idea who it might have been associated with, if anyone at all, but I remember wearing it for a long time, and that being important, making sure it's there, and maybe if I took it off to shower, putting it back on, whatever, and that's a weird ass memory I have, but I can't remember. I wish I could remember what it was associated with, because I'm sure it had to be something, you would think, unless kids just do shit to assimilate too, maybe not, but anyhow, back to Nintendo Power 11. I can't believe this was happening right as I was getting on board the Nintendo Power subscription hype train, this strategy guide shit. I don't remember looking at this ad and setting an expectation of what might arrive in the mail. You know what I mean? I don't remember reading this and being processing what that might mean to whatever. But I can't imagine that I expected as comprehensive and well done as what these strategy guides ended up being. You know what I mean? That Final Fantasy one, the third one, was a Bible for Jab and I. Oh my God, dude. We spent months of our life with our nose in it trying to figure out that opaque ass RPG at ages we were not equipped to deal with an RPG like that. So they were so well done. The Mario 3 one is fucking fantastic. The Ninja Gaiden 2 one, even though that's a game I wasn't necessarily really into as a kid or had an opportunity to play much, it was also well done. And then the 4-player one was fucking so good that's again, when we played NES Spectrum Football, you were gonna be pissed at my onside kick Ronnie Lott game, but that came from that issue. So yeah, these are super well done, and yeah, I don't know. I remember it being confusing to me because when they stopped doing these, they only did 4 of them. So they made it seem like this was going to be an ongoing thing. You know what I mean? Right. And then they only did 4 of them, and then they just switched over to a monthly Nintendo Power. And I think maybe I'm sure they sent me a letter or something, to tell me that was happening. And again, a little kid just processing, what do you mean? I don't understand. Why is it changing? Whatever. It's just wild to me that my Nintendo Power experience aligned with this weird experimental phase of it. You know what I mean? It's very cool.
It's so interesting to me, considering I never had that as a subscription. So I was always just going to the library, picking up. And I almost never had the strategy guide. Every now and then there might have been something extra there, but generally it was just that issue.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, going to the library, the strategy guides, if you're not have the game open next to you or playing the game next to it, it's not an appealing thing to look at necessarily. So yeah, they probably didn't get much run in the library relative to the actual Nintendo Powers, but
I definitely have my pen and paper though, writing stuff down now. Every time I was out there, I was like, I'm flipping through, just write, what's that code? All right, here we go.
For sure. So the table of contents comes next, and in addition to it being beautiful as always, this is where we talk about the pullouts, and there is a fucking lot here. They tell you to check out the Radical Super C poster, and this Super C poster is a live action deal for Super C. It's got 2 dudes standing back to back beneath the chopper, Jay.
Get to the chopper!
Then they're in just vests, headbands, assault rifles, dramatic sunset behind them, just the whole shebang, man. And so that's fantastic, and I'm pretty sure it spent some time on my wall as a child. And
dude, this looks like the Cobra Kai. If you look at Cobra Kai, if you watch that show, this looks like
every poster from the 80s. What do you mean? That's military. That's action oriented.
No, but if you look at how they look now, the actual actors that play Johnny and Danielson, they look like those dudes now. That's how they actually look right now.
Where you at, Ralph? I can see not knowing Danny's or the fucking blonde kid's name, but Ralph Macchio. Where you at on Ralph Macchio? You got to just say his name, Ralph Macchio.
No, man. He's always Daniel's son. Daniel's son. I don't care. He's Daniel LaRusso.
Yeah. He is probably much to his malign, I'm sure. At one point, I'm sure he's accepted at this point, but there was probably a time where he was like, "Fuck, man, just Ralph Macchio."
Yeah, Cobra Kai. He's just like, yeah, let it rain. Yeah, I'm sure.
Spending a long time in relative obscurity for sure. The flip side of it, where one finds a detailed screenshot game map of some kind, is an overworld map for Dragon Warrior, and this baby is dope as fuck for sure. And I'm bummed. I think I might have found it, but I couldn't find a good, and I couldn't actually, because I wanted to use it in our key art, but I couldn't find a good scan of it for us to use for side quest too. And I would have loved to have done that because I definitely remembered that existing. And
dude, I had this exact map digitally pulled up while we were going through that.
Really? This exact one?
Because I looked at this and I was like, oh, I have that. I was like, oh, that's what I was looking at to be like, where are those squares? Oh, that's how the map looks.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I remember the one I had as a kid, dude. I had like fucking carved into the swamp where the token is, because it was literally like it was a perfect screenshot map, So yeah, very well done map. It's got all the shops and shit down below, like a lot of the points of interest and stuff. So yeah, it's a great map that was super helpful as a child, no question. And we also have an oddball booklet, the thing they mentioned on the cover, the pack source thing. And this is a 36-page deal here. And there's no C in pack, so like game pack, And they describe it as the Nintendo Guide to Gaming, a complete listing of power meter ratings, game descriptions, and super hot tips for the NES user. Ooh. And yeah, it is essentially a full catalog of the entire NES library to date, like the license, obviously. And it basically gives kids everywhere a checklist to burden their parents' wallets with. And that is exactly what it was to me. It was like, I literally, well, first of all, there's some, it's not, I don't want to diminish it in that way, like, and say it's just a catalog. Like there's some value built into it for sure. They put the power meter scores in here for each title. So, it's a catalog of every game in the system, and it's pretty helpful, or it would have been pretty helpful to weed out some of the dog shit. Like, we've said more than once, and it will remain true throughout, that there's a little bit of bias for the power meter ratings and shit that Nintendo does for sure. There's money involved, some proprietary product in some cases. There's a million reasons why you shouldn't be the end all be all in your game buying decision making on an NES, but a thing that's rated total dog shit, and like, say you're standing in a fucking Toys R Us aisle, and you are blessed enough to have this in your hands while you're doing so, something that's got a bunch of twos on it, like, there's just no chance that's a good game, you know what I mean? And you could, that would have been a very helpful tool to have, that I probably wish I would have. Well, I don't know, I wouldn't say I had any major lemons in my NES collection anyways. It's not like I bought, I didn't really get, but it would have been great for like the rental store for sure, which I wish I would have used it more, because I definitely brought home dog shit in the rental market. So yeah, that's cool. And they also put a random tip for each game. So like Punch Out's tip is the password to go straight to Super Macho Man with a 99 record, So every game just has a little tip in it too. So some extra value there too. Yeah, dude. Like I remember just pouring over this thing. Like I have a distinct memory of the games I had. I would pen little stars next to the titles of the game on both sides of the title, on the little, like, they have each game has a little colored bar, each genre has a certain color coding, you know what I mean? So like that little title bar, I would scrawl little stars, so yeah, I fucking use this thing a great deal just to, like, I don't know, to remind myself I had the games. I don't know, it's not like I had like thousands of games. I don't know why. Just my anal retentive tendencies, I guess, even as a child.
Dude, I would have loved that. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm just imagining what my experience would have been like to have had this issue, because you have the Dragon Warrior map, you have the cool poster, you have this, like, to be able to look up and be like, okay, what other games are out there right now? All of these games are out there right now. Like, sweet. You know what I mean? I would have loved to have that. Like, even for the reason that you just said, like, it's no wonder this issue is just so well thought of,
Right. Yep. Now, again, I just can't believe it's the one. Well, I don't know. Again, like, even again, like my mom making that decision, like, and they probably put a million fucking issues of this on the newsstand. I'm sure there's like a ripple effect of reasons why it got onto my mom's radar. She chose to buy it. It's a beautiful cover. She knows what Mario is. She probably saw a piece on Mario at some point. She's like, "Oh, Mario, that's that game they're talking about. I know that one." You know what I mean?
love Mario.
That came with the system. So there's like a million reasons. It's not totally out of the blue or anything, but it's still amazing to me that this is where it was all introduced to me as a kid. It's kind of wild.
What an issue to be introduced.
Yeah. So next up is Player's Pulse, and they start with the mailbox, as they always do. And we have a Cleveland boy kicking things off. Got to give Kevin Duhan his shout out. And he tells a story of his basement flooding while the family was on a trip, and his Tendo was the only thing that survived because he kept it in a cardboard box to... I just love this so much, dude. He kept it in a cardboard box to protect it from carpet fibers. I just fucking love that so much. It's so stupid kid shit. It's great.
This is such a random story to send the company. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So he kept it in that box. So when they got home and there was standing water in the basement, the box was literally floating on the surface of the water, and everything in it was fine. His Nintendo and shit. And it was basically the only thing in his basement that didn't get water damage, and it was just like little floating on the top like a little fucking rescue boat for his NES, which is just as a kid you just had to be like, oh. Great, so cool. So yeah, it was really cool story. I'm glad, especially that it's a Cleveland boy, made me even happier. But very cool letter to kick off. And I also like this letter from Brett Soboleski of Erie, PA. He wrote in a while back to ask for help with beating the final boss in ISOH alum Strider, and they basically told him no, that they thought it would be better for him to figure it out on his own. And that's just no fucking participation trophies, kid. Get out there and do some work, you know what I mean? And the kid here is taking the time to write in again and just say he finally did it and it felt fucking great, you know what I mean? And it makes it chokes me up a little bit. Like the idea of like the life lesson being taught to this kid, and he was so, even as a child, he understood how good of a thing that was and how fulfilling it was to have that.
To do it yourself.
Yeah, to do it yourself, to have that, and to be taught that lesson, and that they were right, even though at the time he was probably like, fuck!
Damn you guys.
Yeah, right, So, yeah, very fucking cool. No participation trophies. Get out there and do some fucking work. So,
right. Dude, cool. You know what? I like the second one, like about the bug. Nintendo is basically just saying, "Yep, it's called a bug. It happens." Like,
yeah, we're not gonna do anything about that, actually. Right. Yeah. Fucking great mailbox this month. One of the better ones. Just right in line with everything else. Everything about the issue is fucking classy. Video Spotlight also makes me happy. The first cat, Jeff Benson of New Paris, Texas, is a 14-year-old kid demonstrating some real entrepreneurship and leadership, having started a Nintendo club called the Video Warlords that pools the members' allowances to buy games for them to share within the group. And I bet Jeff here gets priority access to those cards on account of all the sweat equity he put into the various organization management responsibilities associated with starting this organization. So very smart play by Jeff, and I'm sure he's exploiting it in corporate capitalistic fashion.
I'm sure he gets the games first because he's
right.
So everybody give your money. I'm going to play this game. Then I'll pass it along to you and give you the tips and stuff.
And all the worker bees are just happy because they're part of this machine that's doing so well.
They'll eventually get to play these games with this guy's like knowledge on how to beat it. Like,
right.
What a great deal.
Yeah, it's very Orwellian. It's very 1984.
I bet he sells Amway, or he's like high up in multi-level marketing.
Something, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do. It reminds me, so like, I've told the story about my Game Boy shit and my little fucking, just it's the idea of like a little kid just like coming up with a fucking scheme to maximize his video game shit is just so good, And then we have Matt Raylard of Fairfield, Connecticut, and he has a list of general game playing tips, and the first one really rings true to me. It is, don't give up Don't play too long. Extended play makes some players angry. That's very true, Matt. I'm guessing Matt is projecting a little here, but I'm a prime example of this being the case nonetheless. So it's a good lesson to have taught to you as well.
By some players, I'm pretty sure he means himself.
Exactly right. Yeah. So yeah, the reader art here is cool too. It's Link opening a door to find Wart and a bunch of other baddios. That's a cool name actually, or a cool word. Baddios. Yeah, I didn't mean that, but that's a good Freudian slip of something cool. So yeah, there's a bunch of baddies from Mario 2, the better Mario. Right.
It's a good Mario. Don't get me wrong. It's a good Mario. But it's not the goodest Mario.
Yeah. Okay. So you turn the page, and it's time for the biggest, baddest mother ever to hit the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Mario Bros. 3.
Ooh, look at this artwork, man. Like, the colors are great. Like, the font is that fantastic.
Time they put into this, they were probably so excited about this. They probably dedicated like 3 people to it instead of just 2. They brought this so much resources of the Nintendo Power Pie. Probably went into this. So yeah, this is it, man. This is Mario and Luigi return in their biggest adventure yet. Super Mario Bros. 3 has more secrets, more tricks, and more outrageous obstacles than the first 2 Super Mario Brothers games put together. Fuck that. And if, in fact, we could barely fit maps and tips for the first 2 worlds in these 8 pages, so let's go and see what we can find. And they have an item breakdown, love those, of a World of Grasslands explainer box preceding the start of the level-by-level maps. So they kind of just give you, teaching the mechanics as they always do with these fucking things. And looking at each of these, particularly the Koopa airship level, and it got me really thinking about the context of where we're at in the NES timeline. Because I came into Nintendo a little late, so this didn't hit me. I definitely didn't have this when I was getting this issue, and I had a Nintendo already, but I wouldn't get Super Mario Bros. 3 with any real level access till it was out for a while, and I had played other games that were also probably a little further down the development tree, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I was just thinking about that airship level, how fucking crazy and good and different that is than everything you've seen on the system. So if you get this game day one, it probably just hit you like a ton of fucking bricks, man. Like it was just probably mind blowing.
The airship was so hard. Like at first, it's like, oh shit, man. Like I was surprised because I'm playing through it again because it's great. And I did, a couple months ago when I first started playing. I remember thinking how hard it was and how my natural memory helped me to get through it much more easy this time, which is, great. But otherwise, every new airship you experience, because they're all different, it's just oh man, what is happening? Even on Super Mario World 3D that I'm playing on the Switch right now, the freaking airships are hard. It's just these airships.
An airship in 3D. I don't think they had those in Mario 3D. I don't think they have one in Odyssey either. So yeah, that would be cool. An airship in 3D would be fucking dope.
It is, man. Because you got that extra aspect of where am I landing with these bullets?
Well, yeah, I mean that's what So yeah, Mario 2 had verticality too, but it wasn't nearly as reliant on it. There's a lot of verticality in these stages, and just an incredible diversity in the stages that we talked about, the giant world, the sand, the Egyptian world, the fucking water world, the ice world,
sky world. Yeah.
Yeah. There's just a ton of diversity, and that became a part of Mario games, that diversity, so this was the first time they were doing that, and that again just a testament to the big step that was in what Mario games.
And each one has their own music. Even in going through the music for this episode, I'm I love all this music. Which world do I choose? Which nostalgia string do I want to pull today?
You chose a good one.
It's so good. Are we playing Mario? How can we play
Are we playing Mario?
How do we not?
We'll talk about it later. Yeah. So the last page here is overworld maps, and previews of Worlds 3 through 7, and then a little mini teaser for the beast that is Bowser's Underworld hideout. And those overworld maps are just like a great showcase of the game. They're such a good choice, like to put all those in there and just show the maps, and again, kind of just tease the diversity of what this game is really cool. And I also dig how they tease the strategy guide hidden in June at the end, basically giving you, a couple months to digest this before giving you the keys to the kingdom, and that's pretty cool too, so.
I also like it too. It's like figure it out on your own if you can do it. If not, we'll see you in a few months to help you out.
The fucking rescue team is coming your way. Yeah, I mean, and they always do that too. They've been doing that from the start here. They'll do, the first half of the game and say we'll have more in the next issue, and in those cases we're talking about 2 months again that you get between issue to issue. So yeah, and they've always done. I've commended them from square one a fantastic job of not, basically what that letter was, that just the slowly feeding you and letting you fucking experience it as opposed to the immediate gratification world we live in now, and that's fucking great job. Great fucking job. And after that, we have a feature for Ultra Silent Service, the submarine simulation, and it's a 4-banger. And we've already diddled with this already. And we've diddled with this already. I fired it up at the time when we first saw it and was completely overwhelmed by the depth of the simulation aspects of this game. And I don't know, the density of this feature is right on brand with that feeling. I was looking at this when I was going through the mag, and I'm looking at it, and I am reading this mag to an immersive depth. I'm trying to dive deep, and I was looking at those pages, and I'm like, oh, this is exhausting to look at.
Yes,
and it's the game. I remember when I was fucking with the game, it was the same thing. It's like it's a shame because I bet it is a hell of a simulation that I could have really enjoyed in 1990. You know what I mean? But a simulation game on NES in 2021 is just not something anyone is going to have the patience for, myself included. So it's just, I feel it bums me out a little that I'll just never be able to experience this the way it should have been or could have been experienced, because I think I would have been into it as a kid, that kind of stuff intrigued me even then, but the systems are just too outdated to interface with now, so.
Yeah, I gotta agree, man. I second that. It's such a thorough treatment here, and
treatment is a great fucking word for it. Yep.
Yeah,
after that, we have a couple pages on the Winter 1990 Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, and they break the blurbs up by genre, and I believe it was by developer last time, so they're switching it up here. And the role-playing greats is the title on the RPG blurb, and there's a lot of heat in here, man. There is SNK's Crystallis coming down the pipe, and that is a great top-down action RPG, and it was unveiled along Nintendo's offering, or rather Nintendo offering Star Tropics and Final Fantasy, and they also have the port of the first Wizardry by Nextsoft in here too. So yeah, RPG stuff is really coming into its own, and that's pretty fucking cool and exciting. Will give us more to work with than Ultima on the next side quest. And super sequels are also mentioned, and some hotness here: Ninja Gaiden 2, Super C, and Tecmo Bowl 2, as it's referred to here. They're not even calling it Super Tecmo Bowl yet, so that's exciting. And in the list under development games, I clocked Street Fighter 2. And assuming it's what we all know that name to be, it's very interesting to hear that it was being developed for the NES at one point, because I did not know that.
Yeah. But does it say it's being developed for the NES? It just says it. Right?
Oh, that's true. That is a. It
doesn't necessarily say anything, Well,
they're not. Yeah, they're not talking about any SNES stuff in there. So That's a fucking fantastic question and question to raise. But I think my assumption here is that they are talking about all NES stuff, and it was probably. I'm sure there's some fucking literature somewhere about this. Some recounting.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Look at Castlevania 3. Wasn't that eventually a Super Nintendo game also?
But they also probably that I would almost guarantee, because Simon's Quest came out a while ago now, like a year ago. So there's plenty of time left in the NES thing. And actually, no, sorry, fuck you, man. Castlevania 3 is on NES. What are you talking about?
No, I don't know. That's what I was asking. I don't know.
Me up. I'm like, no. Castlevania 3 is on NES, and it's fucking great, dude. It's a really good game that I hear is I mean, because you play different characters in that. You can play like Dracula's son, Alucard. That's where that comes from, and there's a few different characters you can play, and it's like supposedly fucking. That's another game that I'm looking forward to getting to because I've heard incredible things, and I think I only briefly diddled with it when I was younger. So that's a game I look forward to giving a whack to. But yeah, what is the SNES one? That's not Symphony of the Night. That's
I just know that's separate. I don't even remember like at what point those are transitioned. I definitely didn't play it.
Yeah, but 3 is definitely an NES. But that's such a big franchise. I mean, the reason I was like second guessing there is because they could have easily had something that they were developing for the NES for the Castlevania line and been like, you know what, let's just bump it to the SNES. That would make total sense because I mean, there's like you said, there's a million of those games. And the highlights wrap-up section mentions Jaleco's Maniac Mansion port from the PC, insinuating they're justifiably excited about it. And yes, again, I look forward to exposing you to that game. I think it's super fun. I think you'll dig it. Even though that's another game that, I mean, I think it plays better UI wise than that simulation or submarine simulation shit, but it is also a weird for NES UI, the Scum engine where you're like picking verbs and then clicking on things to move around and interact with the world, So it's a little weird, and obviously that's not ideal on NES controller, but I think it plays much better and than a lot of that stuff. Definitely better than Shadowgate, as far as the interface goes. It's a little clunkier. I actually played that a little bit on the plane too. I started fucking with that. Not that. I was playing the other Mac Venture, Uninvited, which is the one I played Deja Vu and Shadowgate a bunch, but I have not really played Uninvited. So I was fucking with that one a little bit on the plane too. After the CES shit, we have a 3-pager on Rare NOA collaboration Pinbot. And this is a pinball game with robot and space theming. And it's Nintendo of America, good. Rare, good. Pinball, good. I was pretty optimistic heading into this, like never having fucked with it. I'd never even heard of it, let alone fucked with it. And the table pictured even has a legit Williams pinball logo at the bottom of it, which I
noticed that, dude.
I immediately recognized that from basically growing up in bars as a kid. And that is because this is an actual pinball machine game that was manufactured by Williams, trademarked in 86, and according to the game's title card, legalese, and Williams Pinball, is a brand of WMS Industries, which is a big player in the pinball game scene that went public in 87 and shortly thereafter acquired Bally Midway. And Bally Midway was also huge in their own right. So to demonstrate the size of Williams to be acquiring Bally Midway, I think kind of shows how big of a company it was, So, yeah, they made a bunch of pinball machines, of course. They made a bunch of gambling machines as well, slot machines in particular. And they started with electronic gaming in 1973 with a Pong clone called Paddleball. So, a little pinball company fucking history lesson for you there. And they have a power meter for this one, and they did not for Mario 3 or Silent Service. And I thought that very odd. It's very and that would be a recurring thing. I don't know if you pay attention to those here in the mag, but it's like very sporadic what games have power meters and what don't. And I wonder what the fuck is up with that, because I feel like they've pretty much been on every game in previous issues.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Maybe they feel those are more like, hey, we're releasing this to you. Like that's like no one's had time to review it. Like here it is. You know what I mean? Kind of just
maybe.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Something we drop questions to ask Howie, actually. And they give it an 81.25 with nearly a perfect mark in graphics and sound, which is a good art here for a pinball game. And in the bottom right of page 2, it says, even the best mechanical pinball machines can't do what your NES can do. And fucking whoa, man. Hold your fucking horses, Nintendo, with that bombastic claim, fucking win. That's laying it on a little fucking thick, I think. Did you fire this up?
No, man, I don't have the ROM. How did you found the ROM?
I did, yeah. It was on ROM's download. I don't think I had it in the thing either. I had to download it, but
dude, every time I try to get a new ROM, it's always like virus stuff.
Back to Nintendo Power here 11 after that little fucking ROM download tutorial for Jay here, so he knows how to pirate things
Let's play
legally.
some pinball.
So he knows how to pirate things legally. And yeah, I fired this up. It does mostly look and sound great. The title screen has some really steamy pixel art of a robot seductress, and like you actually got like robot nipples and shit, which killed it on socials, as you might imagine, as any female sex thing does. And the music is fantastic, as you'd expect from Rare. They always do great music. And the table looks pretty good. It is a little busy visually, I would say. You can track the ball fine, but I would say it's still a little messy looking. The physics were okay. Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's the best pinball game we've played for NES, but it's certainly serviceable, and there's clearly there's good artwork, there's good music, there's a lot of well-built things into it. It seemed to be, from the posts on the social stuff, like people like this game. People regard this game as a good pinball game. So it's worth your time, definitely, to check it out if you're into pinball games, no question, but do not expect to be completely blown away. It's not fucking the best. Next up is Atari Mindscape 720, and this is a 3-banger, and we've talked about this before as well. It's a skateboarding deal that I would say is skate or die with light RPG stuff, like really obtusely jammed into it. And I'm not a fucking fan at all. The no power meter here again, and that's fucking weird. But yeah, the game is not, I think, anything special at all. And
yeah, it's I tried it, and it's kind of fun. Like the controls are fun to like move it around, but like I just couldn't get into the RPG aspect.
Even get out of the main area?
No, I was just
so you got to go pick the events.
I crashed and some stuff, and I was like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can crash on the overworld map. Yeah, it was not. I mean, I get, that's because I think it gives you the freedom to really play and do tricks and stuff in the main area, which is if you're trying to go for RPG type stuff, like that's a smart choice probably. But yeah, I think it was just bad execution on most fronts. It's not that great of a game. Absolute's A Boy and His Blob gets 4 pages after that, and this game makes me upset, man. It's such a it's such a curiosity, but I know it is not a good game. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating. Like, I read it as a kid, likely because I read and reread this issue a few thousand times, and the brilliant seed idea grabbed me then, just as it still does to this day. The idea of like giving a blob jelly beans and that turns into tools to help you solve problems. Like, that's a really fucking cool mechanic. But it was a bleh experience then, and I have tried it as an adult many, many times, and every time I'm just like, it's just fucking not.
Just can't do it. They got some great marketing. Like, I see it. I'm the same way. I see it. I'm like, oh yeah, One is Blob. But and then it's like, it's that game.
Yeah, it's that fucking game. Yeah. It bumps me out too. Yeah, I want to like it because it's fucking those dudes. But after that is Howard Nestor, and they're doing Super Spike V-Ball things here. And Howie is playing beach volleyball in a button-up and a bow tie. Pretty fucking cool, Howie. And the prevailing takeaway is a tip to play defense away from the net rather than trying to block everything at it. And I don't disagree, digging spikes out at ground level is easiest in the game, but power blocks of the net are possible and super hot and very satisfying when you successfully
for sure
do them, in that game. So, it's a decent tip for a newbie. I think it's misguided for a veteran Super Spike V-Ball player. That would be my take on that.
I find it funny that you looked at it from a tip perspective. I just took it that he didn't want to take feedback. Like, he was trying to give
yeah, that's the thing. Like, these are all these comics are all incredibly one note. They are always the same thing. It is Nestor being a little dick, and Howard is cool, calm, and collectedly trying to teach him a lesson and show him up. It's like the classic snarky kid mentor dynamic, you know what I mean? And like, I just can't begin to invest myself in these, from that, like, the narrative standpoint is just, they're awful. So
yeah, they melded in. That's what it always feels like especially when we compare and read like Game Pro, like where it seems like there's a through story.
Right. Yeah. No, and that's you gotta, I think they're generally better in Game Pro, period. But you also, like, this is episodic. These are standalone episodic sitcom episodes. They have no relation to the next episode. Whereas the game Adventures of Game Pro is, yes, a continuous
So you got your
storyline.
mini comic there.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're very different narrative styles. So you don't want to compare them too much, but Game Pro is definitely way better. That is the Target Renegade parking garage theme, which is, I don't know why that phrase amuses me, but I think it's one of the better music cue names we've had for some reason. Parking garage theme. It amuses me just as a fucking sentence. And kicking off Act 2 here with some ninja options in Nintendo Power 11, we have a couple pages of Taito's April release, Wrath of the Black Manta, and this is another childhood curiosity of mine, I'm sure because of this issue, but I only dabbled with it on, I believe, a single rental occasion as a kid and never tried again. And I was really hoping that curiosity was more justified than in the flop, And it's got a 77.5 on the power meter, and that is nothing to shake a stick at, So in the mag here, the first stage map taking place, it says it takes place above and below New York, and it clearly depicts a side-scrolling action platformer, right? So like there are power-ups, there are inventory screens, and clues to pick up on and through, and that all suggests some effort towards story and character building, and good things I consider to be good game things. And so I fired it up with that in mind, and kind of, I guess, optimistically. And did you play this?
I did.
All right. So yeah, that opening cinematic explaining that NYC kids are being abducted and the police and FBI have no leads. This is great. It explains that, and then it cuts to a phone ringing. Fucking the 90s and 80s are great, man. Video games are so just great. So there's a phone ringing, and then it cuts to a ninja in full ninja garb, questioning who could be calling so late. Like he goes, just him asking out loud, rhetorically to himself, who could be calling so late, like the way a normal human being not in ninja garb in their house would And so this actually, this is so fucking obscure, and I can't believe I'm even bringing this up on the pod. But so this made me think of a lyric from what I believe was a Tyrese song. Sweet Lady, I believe, is the name of the song. Do you recall this song?
Yeah. Why are you bringing this up?
do you recall the music video where he's like on a fucking city bus?
Not really.
Yeah,
I don't really.
Pretty sure the video it's borderline irrelevant. He's fucking the video is him on a fucking city bus singing late at night. And there's a lyric in the song that is late night phone calls on the telephone. And there's just something about the profound redundancy of that sentence that it became a joke amongst my clique in high school. And I laugh at the thought of it out loud to this fucking day. Late night phone calls on the telephone. Like, you don't need the telephone. You just don't need the telephone. It's late night phone calls, Why is that in your song? So that's it was a perfect storm of things, like the ninja and the full ninja garb dealing with the fucking stupid ass phone call at home, and then thinking of Tyrese. It was just a beautiful little moment for me that I had fucking
even further, because he's like Master, what's up? Like that's how it reads. Like
it only gets better from there. Yeah. So yeah, the ninja answers, and suddenly an old dude silhouette is right in front of him, not on the phone, which is weird. And the ninja immediately identifies him as his master. So the ninja says, "Yes, Master, what's up?" which does not seem like the tone a ninja would speak to a ninja master with. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, what the fuck do I know? Yeah, exactly. What the fuck do I know about ninja candor? But everything I have ever been exposed to in the ninja option subset of things implies that that's not how they would address their ninja master. even on a late night phone call on the telephone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it was fucking. It kicked off with a bang for sure. I was like, "Oh my god, this could be fucking insane. This could just be a fucking holy shit. What the fuck is this?" You know. So I was pretty abused at the start there, but I mean, it's definitely more of a well-made game than Boy and His Blob. There's no question about that. And I was able to stick with it to the boss battle against the huge bald thug dude.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure this is the kind of game I could game up without getting suicidal, you know? Like it's a little repetitive. It's kind of aimless it's a little bit aimless, I think, you know? Like I didn't really
I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. I was
right.
just kind of like,
I was disgusted. Boss and the boss I found challenging, maybe a little bit the kind of challenge that's not good, like Control. I couldn't get the guy to stay high enough to hit him in the face, which is where you have to hit to do damage, you know. And like I kept trying to jump over the projectiles, and it was like more frustration with trying to make that happen than it was like difficulty, you know. So yeah, it just didn't, you know, not disgusted, but not the kind of game that I would want to.
It wasn't fun. I did not have fun. Therefore, I do not want to
not the game ever.
More of that experience.
I do not want to expound on that. So after that, we have a 4-banger for Jellicoe's Astynex and Astynex, however the fuck you pronounce it. And
Astynex?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I actually wrote down here. I have to do a double take of the spelling every time to even possibly pronounce the name correctly. Like I look at it, like A-Y-A, like, and you know, like the dissection of the psychoanalysis of that, like it's arguable whether that's a good or bad thing from a marketing standpoint. You know what I mean? Like I hate shit like that. Like don't ever try to trick me with some marketing bullshit. I will smite thee by not giving you a dime solely out of spite, regardless of how much I want the thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a shit what the rates are. I will never have Geico Insurance Company because your commercials piss me off that much. You know what I mean? I'm so annoyed by your commercials that I don't give a shit if you literally will insure me for free. I'd rather pay than reward that thing. You know what I mean? And same with like, fucking hate them. So yeah, I hate when fucking like marketing tries to trick me, you know. But I also know that, not to be a pompous prick, but I know it works on a lot of people. So you know, like I whether or not it was a good choice with that name to be debated, you know. But I can't ever fucking remember it to pronounce it right. Anyways, so we have full maps and tips galore through stage 5-1 in here, and the vibe and the text is World 5 might be the last, so this is a pretty thorough walkthrough of the game that they have here. And the game is a side-scrolling action platformer, which does not excite me at all, but it is at least medieval fantasy themed, and it is Greek mythology inspired, which is on the lesser end of the spectrum of the kind of medieval fantasy I like, but nonetheless, I'm listening. You know, as I look at it. So, did you fire it up?
I did. It's an okay game. Some great artwork, man. Some great artwork. Like even from, I will say that about this episode. I looked at here and I was like, I will turn this on. Like it's colorful. Like there's a hero. There's some flying stuff. Like let me check it out.
Man, it's Jellicoe, and like Jellicoe does good shit. We've had a lot of good Jellicoe thing. They do a lot of the sports games. They Bases Loaded. They both those. They had that tennis game wasn't bad of theirs. Yeah, Jellicoe's not a bad company. So you know, I wasn't entirely surprised. But yeah, so the opening cinematic is very anime inspired, I would say. It has a cute girl that I bet really really gets the biscuits burning of fanboys of anime stuff for sure, you know.
Right.
That I bet you would really like the title sequence of this. So it also looks quite good. The actual game, the title screen music that rips in is awesome. Yeah, Jellicoe has demonstrated in general regarding their music too, talking about just like the generality of that company doing a good job, man. I mean, I already talked about how that Bases Loaded theme, even though it is like wildly repetitive, is so good. It makes me happy every time I hear it, you know. So yeah, I think they're good on the music front. And we have another lengthy cinematic with another cute anime fairy that bridges us to the actual game. And I was immediately fucking impressed, man. Like even the way it cut from the cinematic to the gameplay had care and extra effort to it. I don't know if you remember, but when you go from that fairy cinematic and go to the game screen, the screen is drawn in a spiral pattern outward as opposed to just appearing on the screen. You know what I mean? And that's a very small thing, but that's care and effort. You know what I mean? And that, of course, usually has ripple effects in the way everything is done in the game. And yeah, I would say the controls are good. There's a bunch of information in the HUD at the bottom that suggests it's not just like a shitty one-hit death game. And there's some RPG stuff going on, so that's pretty cool. Looks pretty damn good. The enemies are original and varied, I would say. Like their attack pattern and the taking damage hitbox stuff isn't perfect with them, but it's nowhere near trash, I would say. And you can definitely get that on an action platformer. But a cool thing too, I dealt with a few weapons right away. Like I had the axe, and the game calls it a spear. Yeah. It looks like a badass. It actually looks like the badass sword from the title screen of that Demon Sword game. You remember that, like the prong sword?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Look like that. Yep.
And then they also have a straight up traditional sword that, again, just like in the first level, I think I encountered all those, and that's pretty cool. And they also have some special attack shit that is constrained by a meter in the HUD, like a special attack of some kind, So there's like some varied mechanics to it, and that's also not fucking requisite for a side-scrolling platformer. I got to the boss of the end and died, but I think there could be a game episode here. I
think it's possible. It makes me feel like I would want to read the manual to play this game again. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let me give me the real stuff. Let me figure out what I'm actually doing here. Let me invest some time.
That especially for an action platformer with a bunch of different mechanics in it, that's that completely changed your experience for sure. And I didn't do that either. So, I was able to get that impression entirely on intuition. So yeah, with actual information, it probably gets even better, I guess. And then it's also another one too that I feel like was fondly responded to on the socials, you know what I mean? So that's a good sign as well. After that, we have the top 30, and the top 10 is a murderer's row of NES 5. Yeah. Dude. It goes TMNT, which actually is probably the weak point on this list, right? And Mega Man 2, Super Mario Brothers 2, Zelda 2, Dragon Warrior, Legend of Zelda, SMB 3, Ninja Gaiden, DuckTales, Tecmo.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
lit fucking list, top 10. And their little blurb for Mario 3 is very shit talky. I don't even know you clocked this. It was small, but so it says, you played it on Play Choice 10, and now it's coming home to your NES. This is just the beginning. Which, that is a defensive response to it only being at number 7. Like, is that was my...
watch, this is about to be a top number 1 for...
Shit is going to set your fucking NES ablaze for the next 18 months. Yeah. That was
hotness everywhere. That's like, when I saw this, I'm like, you know what? This whole top 30 is fire. Like, this is the apex of the 8-bit era. I'm done. Like, this is it. Like, this list, where should I go for the retro hotness 8-bit? Right here. Like, it's here.
Yeah. Oh, the next, but that's again me pointing out that thing. That's what I kind of was alluding to a little bit with. Like, I had my NES already, but I don't think for long. When I got this issue, and the next 12 months with that subscription aligned very closely, and probably not by coincidence, with the height of my NES fandemonium. Like, I wrote a young author's Nintendo book in 3rd grade. You know what I mean? Like,
nice, dude.
Yeah. It was Super Mario Brothers themed. Like, I was fucking into it. And this was like the era that I was dialed into it. And I think it is the golden era per se of NES gaming, this next year. So it's just so amazing to me that this is, and like I said, like, it's not entirely not by design, I'm sure, on Nintendo's behalf, but it is still interesting to me that I was able to line up to it like that. You know what I mean? It's cool, I think. So yeah, there's fucking ton of heat happening right now. The other thing outside the top 10 I liked the most was that Marble Madness is all the way up at 13. I thought that's, like, I love Marble Madness, but I'm surprised to see it at 13. It's higher than I would expect others. People bitch about that game because it's the kind of game that you need the trackball and the arcade for to really get the full experience. So people bitch about the NES port a lot. I mean, I don't agree with it, but you know, I fucking love that game on NES. But
It's just a
not
different type of game.
yeah, pretty good. It's in the fucking Nintendo Power Awards for PvP. Foreshadowing what my vote might be for that category. And after that, we have previews, and we have 2 pages on Square's Final Fantasy first up, and this is hitting in May. And the table setting blurb on the first page mentions it having a lithium battery to save on, just like Zelda and Link, is the way they put it. And for some reason, they're using the shorthand for those tentpole titles like that. Really made me happy, you know, that they didn't. I know, just kind of like it was conversational of something that is very near and dear to them as a property, you know. So I was surprised to see it so flippantly referred to. You know what I mean?
I mean, this makes me really want to play Final Fantasy. I'm like, is this out now? Like, this. Look at these characters. Like, I'm interested.
Not yet. And you gotta fucking finish Ultima first so we can get out of there, motherfucker.
Dude, Ultima can go. Ultima can. Yeah.
I will of course talk about it, but once you level up and shit and start, like I'm in caves getting shit now, and it's infinitely more enjoyable. You got to do the grinding work for sure for the game to be approachable. I have like mostly 99s in the important places now. Like that's where I'm at grinding wise. And if you think back, the hint book told us, said got to max those fuckers out. So
the thought of even doing that is just like, I could think of like 1,000 other things I'd rather do. Like like pretty much anything else. Like I could go cut the grass instead of doing that. Like I don't even cut the grass right now. Like, somebody else does that.
It's super easy to do. Just taking trips to Ambrosia. Anyways, this is all aimed at conveying the incredible strides this RPG takes in scope and depth compared to what we've seen so far in the system, and I think it does a great job of that. Like you said, you're fired up for it. And the artwork in the bottom right is really cool also. I like that. I use it in our key art. Very cool. And the power meter is only at 77.5%, which I thought I could probably rile Jab up pretty good with in our group chat, but he didn't take the bait. I was pretty sad. I thought he would get very defensive about that, but not the case. After that, we have a couple pages on a March Capcom release, codename Viper, and this comes across to be kind of in the Metal Gear vein, I would say, like a secret military operative running around, rescuing prisoners, gathering intel, and the setting being in South America in this case instead of wherever the fuck. I can't think of where Metal Gear was supposed to be. Maybe South America too. I guess what's the difference? It's a fucking jungle. But this is
jungle
a side
war game.
That's it's a side scroller though, as opposed to obviously Metal Gear's top down. And I would like fucking with it. Like it leeches onto the Reagan administration's war on drugs themes pretty heavily. They make the baddies a drug trafficking syndicate, and I fired it up, and probably the most interesting thing about firing it up is I realized once I got going that this is the game where your guy walks into his superior's office with no pants on, and this is like a notorious, notorious screenshot from the NES. Yeah, so he like walks in and like his pants are colored. Like the color palette limitations on the NES basically corner the developers into giving his pants the same color as his skin tone. So, and he's even got like, and this is crude of me to maybe point out, but he's also got a little fupa. Do you recall what a fupa is, Jay? Yeah, right.
I just figured his like package was there, and he's like pantsless.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an infamous NES screenshot. The game though is otherwise kind of bleh. Like,
I want to like the game, but the controls, the jumping won't let me. I'm just like, no. I will get angry and throw the controller.
Not notable, and it's another game too. Like we've talked about how like good feedback on the socials for it. Usually, I mean, like people talk positively about this game too, but I think that's nostalgia getting them. I don't know if it's recent. You need to get a little recency bias. Maybe I was gonna say, yeah, it's usually recency bias is usually referred to as a negative. Maybe you should get some for this if you think this is a good game, because it's not. I don't think. Last in here is 3 pages on Konami's blockbuster sequel to Contra, Super C, and 7 pages, actually, if you count the 4-panel poster that comes right after it that we already talked about. And this game is out. And I was thinking / hoping it wouldn't be, because it is the cover feature on the next issue. which I know offhand. Yeah, but it's an April drop, so it is technically out. So by the rules that we go by, it is game app eligible rather. They have a full map and tip breakdown for stage 1, and little blurbs about stages 2 through 8 are here, rather in here. And the power meter is 4s across the board for an 80% aggregate, which is solid, obviously. The tagline reads, "Defeat doesn't mean forever to mad mobs from outer space," which is, I don't know, there's like some alliteration going on in there. It's interesting. Or rather good, I should say. And the very first tip, know thy enemy, is basically to memorize the game. And that's a terrible fucking tip.
Like, know those patterns. Like, all right, this is what's happening.
Yeah. Which, yes, it's great, but that's not a tip. That's, I don't know, I guess, fuck, whatever. And that's the way these games operate. Maybe, I guess you could say it is. But anyways, but yeah, whatever gets you to the finish line, right? And whatever the fucking thing is that makes it not want to spike your controller off the floor.
You know what's funny? I misremembered this all this time, and I was thinking, for some reason, that Super C came out for the Super Nintendo. So when I looked at this, I was like, "Oh wait, this is on the NES."
Probably like, because they called every game on the Super Nintendo Super something.
Super, yeah. It just in my mind naturally this was a Super Nintendo game. So when I saw that, I fired it up. I was like, "No, I can play this. This game is great." Like, but I don't think I ever beat it. I don't
either, and that's
I beat it.
Yep. Yeah, that's its own. Yeah, I don't think I ever beat it either. I think it was just like I didn't have it for sure. It was just a rental thing. Yeah, that's go. Before we jump on the topic like that, yeah, I hadn't thought of it, but yeah, like in Nintendo, you know, they do a lot of good marketing stuff, but it was not their high watermark to like they did that with both the Super Nintendo and the 64, where like everything just had 60, which, you know, again, counter argument, you're branding it with the system. It like has a very, you know, you're trying to line things up.
Game you're getting.
Yeah, you know, and what it's for, and you know, that's is a marketing tool, but I like originality more than that. Personally, I think that kind of sucks, but whatever. Yeah, whenever I get an itch to play a Contra game, I always choose the original. So yeah, I played it, but definitely never beat it, and that would make it a relatively new experience for me, I think, for a game app. So that's an attractive thing, you know, to talk about. I did fire it up, like, you know, I had that memory of it, but I did fire it up just to like refresh and make sure I wasn't speaking out of turn with that statement. And dude, yeah, the opening shot of your chopper, your dude drops down out of is Apex NES pixel art for sure.
Oh,
like
for sure, man.
The stormy sky background, like in the stage and shit, it's pretty good. So yeah, you get like sometimes you get those good cinematics, but like that's just like in-game shit, you know. And it's like, I mean, as good as you're going to get actual gameplay stuff to probably look on an NES. So that's pretty cool. And I think I know why I've never gotten into this game, and it's because it feels like I'm playing Contra, but something is just off. You know what I mean? Like I can't explain it. And it's not off as in worse. I don't mean that it's like a lesser game, of course. Or not of course, but I don't feel like it's a lesser game. It's just like it just feels weird because I'm used to the comfort of the original that I have played so many fucking times, you know what I mean? So like little things, just like the shooting and kind of just the stages not being, because you know the first Contra is, you know, we talked shit about that tip a moment ago, but like that it's like memorized to the,
you know where they're coming. You jump here, you drop here.
Yeah. So you know, just that's part of the fun of Contra is that like familiar repetition, you know what I mean? So not having that for a Contra game is kind of fucking weird, you know? So, you know, but I mean, it's clearly a good game though. And, you know, I'm sure I could banish that weird feeling over the course of a game app.
I was hoping that the Contra code worked here. Like I thought it did, but it didn't work.
There's Fives code. It's not I think I want to say you only get 10. You don't get 30. It's different. It's not, I think it's kind of close actually. I can't remember offhand what it is, but it's not the exact up down down thing. It's like something kind of close to that, and yeah, I think you only get 10 lives. So if we do it, we don't.
Would be helpful.
Yeah, exactly. We don't. And I think there's more. I think the continue thing works a little better in this too than the first one. But yeah, we would definitely not need to do it. Well, we'd have fucking save states anyways, also. But you know, we wouldn't have to do it super hard way. You know, there is a way to make it easier for sure. And up next, Holy fucking shit! I can't believe I had forgotten about this. There is, yes, a 4-page Dragon Warrior themed text adventure in like choose your own adventure format in here. Like, this is another thing where I just like I can't believe I just looked at it. I read it so many fucking times, even though it's a 4-page choose your own adventure. Like, there's no, it couldn't be more basic in the like, they're all little short blurbs. It's not like you have whole pages or anything. Yeah, I remember just fucking absolutely loving this as a kid. And again, just having all that, it's the perfect thing, having this issue and not having any of the others and wanting the next one to come and just like fixating on it. It's the perfect thing that gives you some replayability with the read. You know what I mean? There's like, it's like the perfect tool to have and something you only have one of, in magazine format. I mean, so yeah, it was just, it landed perfectly on me. And obviously I love the game too. So this fucking game there, that this little choose your own adventure thing was awesome. And I mean, honestly, before we even talk about the specifics of it, we probably have no choice but to discuss choose your own adventure books, the actual ones.
Dude, they're the greatest thing ever. Look, okay, when I was in the 5th grade, we moved from where I used to live in Columbus, Ohio, to a different complete neighborhood in Columbus. So, but in order for me to go to the same school, my mom had to like drive me to and from school. But since she got off of work later than when I got out of school, I would go to the library. So that's when I would, sit and read Nintendo Powers, comic books, and choose your own adventure books. So for me, that was part of my rotation. Like, all right, is there a new choose your own adventure book in the library today? I'm into it, man. That was my afternoon escape for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, we had a ton of them too. So yeah, I was into them. Yeah, I probably read every single one of them in the library at school. Like, there were so many. There were just like so fucking many of them, and I don't believe I ever owned a single one. Like,
yeah, I read them at school or the library,
and I remember them being available in this classic book club stuff. You could get them, but I'd like to think that even the kid in me could tell they did not have replay value. You know what I mean? That they were a one-use thing. You know what I mean? So I think that's maybe what went into that. But yeah, when I mean, do you remember? I was even more into these actually, and they were also in the school library, and I think they're from the same publisher. And they are from Bantam, now Random House, but they were called Time Machine series. Did you have these?
I don't recall those.
They were also choose your own adventure, same style kind of thing, but and I didn't remember this, but in reading about them, they only would have one ending, whereas the choose your adventure books would have multiple endings that you could bump into. But there's only one ending with these. Just they had different routes and fail states in between the end point. You know what I mean? So slightly different format, and then you also had an inventory, and I fucking love inventories. So like the opening of the book, you would have to choose between a list of potential inventory items to start your thing with. So that would affect obviously how the outcomes of things that would happen in the book, you know what I mean? Which was really fucking cool to me. I remember as a kid and thinking like that level of complexity added to just the coolness of choose your own adventures was very appealing, even as a kid. So that was very cool.
Inventory? Yeah. That's detailed, man.
For sure. They were cool too. And there were fewer of them, and I just feel like maybe the quality was a little better, Like I remember a Civil War one where you were like I think you were a northern soldier trying to infiltrate a southern unit or something, or there was something, and they all had time machine or time travel involved with them, hence the name Time Machine, of course. So yeah, they were just, they were very cool. And actually, later on in middle school, I think I would find there's another choose your own adventure book series called Grail Quest that are even more crazier and elaborate on the kind of like, I don't know, game system front. Like you would have to, these were medieval fantasy themed, and I remember the one I had, which I think I might have stole from the library if I recall correctly. Now that I think about it. But so yeah, you had to build a machine. You had to build a little machine that did something that affected what would happen in the story. So like the machine, I remember it was like a sewing thread spool, like an empty one with the thread gone on it, and you had to create like an axle in it with a rubber band, like with like a bar on the one side for the band to tie onto, and then it would go through the spool onto this thing, like a longer stick, and it would make you could wind it up, and it would like go on its own. You know, it would almost like until the rubber band ran out of spins. You know, and I can't remember what the effect it had in the story, but like I had to like go. I remember having to go around the house and like source these materials. You know what I mean? To create this little machine for the book I'm reading, and like that is like.
Really?
To me, as a kid, I was like, "Oh, this is fucking awesome!" Source these dumbass things from around the house. Yeah, it was fucking very, very cool. Those are cool too. So yeah, I was in all those are fucking great. Yeah, the Choose Your Own Adventure stuff was great. So yes, so this Dragon Warrior Choose Your Own Adventure, it follows the actual game quite well, I would say. It takes you up through stumbling into Cole and finding out you need to head south to Rimualder. Like the optimal end state of this is where you go into Cole, the place where the flute is, the fountain, the flute, and they tell you that you have to go down to Rimualder to get the keys that you need to open up all the doors on the northern hemisphere. You know, so yeah, dude, I read through this so many fucking times. I wouldn't score the cart from a buddy, David Camargo, until late 4th grade at the earliest, I would say. And this issue was a 3rd grade acquisition for me. So I spent a year like,
oh, so you had this stuff like in your head.
The story, like, oh my fucking God, you know, like, so yeah, this hit me perfectly. And then like, because of that pull-out strategy guide, we all like, I had that, and then the map in this, like I just had so much stuff about the story before I could get into it, you know. So you know, just You're
ready to go.
It me primed the fuck up. It had 9-year-old me super primed for Dragon Warrior. So yeah, this was a very cool thing, and I can't recall ever seeing one of these again. So it's just like a standalone weird one-off thing, and you know,
I've never seen this. Like I mean, clearly I've read this magazine. Maybe I skipped over this. Like maybe I did this and I was just like, okay. But doing this now, like this is freaking cool. You know, like I feel like I've never seen it again outside of the actual Choose Your Own Adventure stuff. Yeah, this is cool.
And it helps. You know, it probably. I'm pretty sure I already had that strategy guide from the earlier issue. So I was aware of this property. You know what I mean? Like reading this and not knowing or caring about it, it's probably a little heavy for a child that has just no exposure to it, you know, like get into this unless you are just like a fucking rabid Choose Your Own Adventure. You know, it's hard to say whether or not it's all text. There's a million other cool things in this magazine. Like it's probably, you know, tough for everyone to jump out at everyone, but yeah, very cool. And I wish they'd done more of them for sure. After that, rather, we have 4 pages of Game Boy action, and it's all garbage in my view. There's this Konami flying shmup Nemesis was probably hot for kids into that genre, but not I. And otherwise, everything is dog shit in here. I think a bunch of puzzlers and stuff that are pretty shitty.
Moving on.
Yeah, and we have Super Spring Smash Hits, new games now available for 9 pages is next. And first is Tecmo World Wrestling, which is finally out after being teased to us in ads for quite a while now. And I remember this game being good. There's no licensing, all original characters, but there's creativity in the characters, so that's good. And there's a training aspect to the game, so i.e. character development, basically. And the graphics are phenomenal compared to WWF and WCW wrestling, and also the NOA Black Box game. So, you know, by far and away the best looking wrestling game for sure, and there's just no debate there, I don't think. And it has little cutscenes that I would equate a lot to Super Tecmo Bowl's cutscenes, you know, where you'll be in the action and you'll do something and it'll cut out of the game view and give you a quick cinematic of in line with what you just did, you know. And that again, just it's a gimmick, but you didn't have that in NES games, sports games back then. It's just not, you know, it's like essentially an instant replay cam, you know, and that's fucking cool. And the power meter is an even 70% here. So yeah, I fired it up, and to me, yeah, there's just no question whatsoever that it is the best wrestling game on the system so far. Did you fuck with it at all?
I'm actually downloading the ROM the correct way right now because I loved this game as a kid, and when I saw this, I was like, it's that one. It's the one that was good, and I couldn't find the ROM, of course. So now I'm like in the background, like, that's the zip. I'm playing this game. Like,
yeah, it's pretty fun,
I enjoyed this game, dude, so much.
You create your own character, you know, and pick their. It's just.
Because this is the one with in between stages, like you can do push-ups and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's a
But yeah.
pretty fucking good wrestling game, and like I said, yeah, just leaps and bounds better than the licensed ones that we've seen. It's not surprising because those are from companies that are just fucking licensed dog shit and throw it out on the market. And Tecmo actually makes good games. So after that, we have a Natsumi Milton Bradley Space Shmup, and it hit back in December, and I bet it fucking sucks. I did bet that it fucking sucked, and I fired it up, and it does fucking suck. The power meter is 65%, and that is a fucking lie. So, on that one, I assume did you try that?
No, man. I skipped over this on purpose. Like, no chance. Like this, I remembered this sucking, and so there was no.
Yeah,
Why go through that again to remind myself? I know what's going on.
I didn't remember it because I avoided these back then too. But yeah, it was fucking horrible. And then we have another Jalico joint, Bases Loaded 2, up next. And I already talked about it. It's an awesome sim with some annoying gameplay ticks for sure. But overall, I love and own it. And the power meter is only 65%, which is offensive to me that the last game has 65%. And this has the same rating. It's fucking absolute dog shit to me. And then we have another baseball title, Culture Brains Baseball Simulator 1000 after that. And I never heard of this, but it looks pretty fucking crazy. Did you really fucking dig into this?
No, man, I skipped this because I was actually enjoying playing Bases Loaded 2 myself. Like I got a freaking double play in the first inning. I was pretty pumped. So
good baseball game.
I played that and I was just like, this is a baseball simulator. Like what? Like it looks interesting, but
it sounds like it that's
I can't decide.
It sounds like generic. It's a generic-y sounding title for it.
Yeah, like what is happening there?
Right. So yeah, I'm sure I've seen it places and stuff, but it's just I've never even like, that doesn't sound like it's worth looking at. But looking at the piece, there was enough crazy shit going on there that I was like, well, maybe. And again, just being thorough, check it out. So yeah, it looks fucking crazy, dude. Like the piece reads like it's a spoof sports title, like kind of a la Mutant League Football. It's got a season mode, it's got a battery backup, which is, you don't see that in fucking sports games. A team creator and a long list of special moves for players. So that all was just like, again, just so outside the box of what you normally see for a sports game on the NES. And they give it a 67.5 on the power meter, so slightly better than Bases Loaded 2, according to these fuckers, which, bullshit also. But, so I fired it up, and yeah, dude, it's a wild-ass game, man. Like, there is incredibly elaborate simulation aspects to the team management. There's a bunch of different kinds of stadiums you can play in, like on an island in space. Like there's all these different crazy stadiums, and I would say the gameplay is very RBI baseball-ish. Just like the way it feels and looks and stuff, but the special skill aspect of it makes it like a completely batshit insane baseball game. Like I had no idea, like it's something you can't just jump into a game like this. Like there's so many special skills and stuff. Like I had no idea how to employ any of my own on the team. Like I took a pre-made team just to like get into it real quick, and I had no idea how to employ my own, and the computer was doing all sorts of dirty ass shit on me. So like, I like, the fucking, there's just no way to like really be good in it, not knowing that stuff. But I could see the intrigue of it. And if you did understand those systems, it would probably be a pretty fucking fun baseball game. Like if you learn the strategy of all that stuff. And
I guess, man. I looked at this and I'm like, all I see is Ninja Ball, Meteor Hit, and I'm just like, this is some silliness, and I just kind of moved on.
And it is, but like that's
simulator and silliness at the same time. I'm like, what?
but yeah, I mean, did you like Mutant League Football? Have you played Mutant League Football?
I don't remember it a lot, which means I either didn't play it or didn't like it.
See, Mutant League Football is so fucking good, dude. It's Madden, like it's like simulation. It is the Madden skin. It's just Madden skinned with a bunch of wacky ass shit, and it is so fucking fun and so original and so cool that that alone makes me open to a game like this because I know how much I absolutely fucking love that game. So
gotcha. Fair enough. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the kind of thing. It's like it's a lot. You're clearly not going to game up this.
Like an NBA Jam type of kind of experience.
That's a good. I don't know the thing, like NBA Jam is like an incredibly good. First of all, it's 16 bits. That alone, obviously, it's better in just the way the game plays. But there's just I don't know if there's enough incentive to engage the systems of the game well and long enough to learn it to get to the stage where it becomes fun. You know what I mean? Being an older game like this, and there being so many baseball games, and baseball games in general not being a great enough and attractive enough thing to spend that time. There's just like a million things in the way. Kind of like with that the submarine simulation. It's just like I would love to get to that point, but I don't think I will have the time or willingness to get to that point to really see if it's as good as I think it could be. You know what I mean? Yeah, which is a bummer, but interesting for sure, to say the least. It's definitely an interesting baseball installment. And I'm sure there's my guess is there's probably a nice little subset of kids that fucking just love that game because it's so different and unique and just hit the right switches for them. You know what I mean? After that, we have a Data East Formula 1 car racer, and it is also 65% on the power meter, and it's probably about as good as this game could possibly be on the NES. Firing it up, but I fucking absolutely hated it. Racing game simulator, like fuck off. You know what I mean? Like RC Pro Am, the Iron fucking whatever monster.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like Ivan Stewart or whatever, like games like that again make it a little fun and a little less simulation-y. Cool. Fun. But a simulation racing game like Reverse, or rather from POV.
I actually thought this was a fun game.
Really?
And yeah, like racing wise, like it was fun, but realizing that it was more serious and you gotta the more sim aspect of it, I was like, I'm not like it's a thing. It's the reason why I want to get more into Forza, because it's like the greatest racer. It's one of our top games. Forza 7, and so, but obviously the graphics are amazing and beautiful there, and it's a much more it's the experience. Whereas this is just like I don't really want to do that at this level with what they have available. But like the racing itself is kind of fun, but that's going to limit me because I'm not just doing a race here. I gotta do the extra things, and I'm not investing that time.
Yeah, agreed. After that, we have Broderbund's Battle of Olympus, a Zelda 2 clone that we've talked about before. The power meter is 72.5%, which I think is a little high, maybe. And a new Hudson Soft joint, however the fuck you pronounce this, Zezis?
I was going to say Zexes. Like
Zexes is probably right. Yeah, that middle X probably needs to be enunciated. Yeah, Zexes. And this hit in April. And yeah, just what is the fucking deal with these space games of this era and their jumble fuck X's and Y's and Z naming conventions? Like ZV is
unique, man.
I think it's not unique though. They all just fucking run together for me. It makes them all run together. ZV is Xanac, like fuck off. I don't know. I can't even begin to differentiate them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I actually remember, for me it's like Xevious. I remember that because it was a good one. This I have fun with this game, man. It has fun sprites. Like the colors are cool. Like I'd never heard of this before, but I was having fun playing it. Did you try it?
I did. Yeah, I expected it to suck like those other ones. It has a 75% on the power meter, and like it's not really a space shooter. It's more of an action RPG, I would say. Like it reminded me.
Kind of.
Yeah, that's exactly what I equated to Blaster Master for sure. It's nowhere near trash, but it's also nowhere near as good as Blaster Master. So I understand trying to, it's not a game that's overly done, that type of game. So I can see trying to make another one and whatever. But yeah, it was not for me. I think
it was cool just because you're able to go in each of these little, I don't know what they call, like little portals, and like there's like bosses and things there. It was different enough that I was surprised. Because I thought it was more basic, but I was like, okay, that's interesting stuff here. That's surprising.
It's the exact way you would describe Blaster Master. And last up is we have another appearance of Kemco's Rescue the Embassy Mission, and I still like the idea of playing it, but I'm hesitant about making it game episode worthy. So maybe that's one that I'll fuck with on a stream too at some point, just as something to do. They give it a 67.5 on the power meter, and after these messages,
we'll be right back.
Mario! He's back in the all-new Super Mario 3. Nintendo, now you're playing with power.
That is a Super Mario Brothers 3 commercial for the U.S. market, listed as 1990 in the vid title, but there is some comment vitriol down below that says that's wrong. And it was playing on boob tubes in late 89, which would actually make a lot of sense based on, them trying to pimp this game. But there's no screenshots at all in the thing. It's just an entire army of white kids dressed in uniforms that form a massive Mario head that is shown as the camera's it starts on kids' faces and then zooms out to space and basically takes you up to, you can see most of the North American continent, and there's a huge Mario head on mostly the central U.S., but it does spill across the Canadian and Mexican borders, so they weren't limiting themselves to just U.S.-based hyperbole here. They were letting it fucking be a little more international.
Yep. Trying to tell us that the Mario hype has taken over North America.
Yes.
Message received.
So the Counselor's Corner segment kicks us off here, and in here we have Willow, Dragon Warrior, a couple of ISOH Game Ep alums, and DuckTales, or Disney's DuckTales, rather, here they specified, and River City Ransom, and then we have Shadowgate and Legacy of the Wizzy. And the Dragon Warrior tip is the location of Erdrick's armor and Hawksness, so that's pretty fun. And the rest are pretty meh, but we do have Counselor's Corner here, and that's pretty fucking, or rather the counselor profiles. And Gar Lindstrom wins the Mullet Award in a landslide. Even though it's just a little baby flare in the back, and
but it's enough though.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty standard fare up front too, but he definitely wins. And he digs bowling, computers, chess, and Seattle sports. Jay, the greatest.
Knowing that they're all Seattle and natives now makes so much more sense. Like their hobbies, like fighting, Aerosmith is what Denise said. Like, of course, into the Seattle grunge burgeoning scene. Like,
sure. So yeah, his greatest accomplishment is being the first GPC to complete Friday the 13th. The first that. So yeah, that is no small feat. That's a hard ass game to beat. I did it. For our game, we actually did. Sorry, that's a Game Ep alum. Jesus Christ, how did I forget that? Jab and I did a Game Ep on that, and I did beat it, and it's fucking hard, man. That game is fucking hard.
Dude, I questioned Denise. Like, her greatest accomplishment is Mega Man, like a Mega Man 9 million score. Like, who keeps track of score in Mega Man?
Yeah, right. Well, dude, you have nothing.
Hey,
you're speaking from the perspective of a normal human being with a normal life. This is a human being that does nothing but play video games all fucking day. So,
I guess, man.
You would be setting dumbass goals for yourself just to fill the time,
But for that to be your greatest accomplishment, though, it's one thing if that's
super fucking hard, dude. It's probably so fucking hard. That game is so hard.
Oh, fine. I mean, it's interesting that these people are talking about Guardian Legend. Like, 3 of them were talking Guardian Legend.
I told you, well, it's in here. That is part of the thing, dude. Like, there's fucking. It's in here every issue. It's repeatedly in these game counselors mentioned. So I knew there had to be some heat there to it. And actually, I looked up Gar and found his LinkedIn because I'm a fucking weirdo. And so he did 4 years at Nintendo. There's no mention of being a counselor. His title at Nintendo is assistant lead. And then he has 2 listings at EA, Electronic Arts, running concurrently from 98 to 2002. And he's a game master at EA Inc. and an assistant producer at EA Seattle. So I thought that was very interesting in his, fucking company history.
Like, so, how many people continue in the video game industry in some type of way after this,
Sure. Yeah, well, these counselors for sure too. And yeah, because they hired mostly young people. And like, I know that the one that I remember hearing that interview of the one time, he hired super young, and yeah, he bounced around as well afterwards. So it was definitely a good inroad to the video game industry for sure, I think. So yeah, you already mentioned her. We have a very rare female presence here with Denise, and yeah, her hobbies are Aerosmith, beach bumming, and hang gliding. Beach bumming isn't really a Seattle hobby, though. I would say I don't think
No,
it's
I mean there's
Seattle
like
beach.
beaches, but like
They're cold as fuck.
yeah, like that's not what I really think about doing. Like it's one thing if you're that type of person you just like being by water. Maybe she likes going walking by them all the time or something. Maybe that's her definition. I don't know.
Yeah. Agreed. Everyone but our main man Gar, yeah, mentions Guardian Legend. So yeah, I mean fucking that's what led to me doing that. And then we have classified info next, and the entire first page is punch out codes and tips.
Right?
I was upset as fuck right away, but like because I was like looking. I told you I went back and like looked up all the Tyson tips I could find, but the Tyson tips here are fucking useless too. So
yeah. We did it the right way. We went through it. So
yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, didn't miss out anything. The codes are straight to Tyson, the alternate world circuit, which is an interesting one, and one that I was actually not aware of, a straight to the end credits one, which is interesting because if you recall, there are no end credits when you actually beat the game.
Yeah.
So this is just built in
Gotta
there.
get a code to go see the interesting.
Right. Yeah. So this is just like again, kind of like that. It's harking back to that the video game designer thing at the time where they tried to like not put that shit in there, so they would try to work in the back door somehow the credits, you know what I mean? And that's they did it here too with that. And they actually don't mention that here, suggesting they've never fucking beat Tyson. yeah, those motherfuckers. So I thought that was funny too. But beyond that, we have a Bad Dude 63 Lives code. We have Mega Man 2, we have Cobra Triangle, we have Double Dragon 2, we have Dino Trash Fire fucking Ricky, and
what?
And we have Vegas Dream. The Double Dragon code is a continue that only works in stages 2 and 3. And it says their agents are now in search for codes for latter stages. That's what they just claim here. So I think that's very interesting that there's a continue code that only works in those stages. That's
I don't know. I didn't need to continue in those stages, so I don't know. I played it.
Probably why it's available there. I wonder if their agents ever found a ladder game one. We shall find out, I suppose. They also explain the cheese about how you can, when you're player 1, you can start a player 2 game and then beat the shit out of that player and take their lives. Just start the game with 7 lives, which I like. There's been a few. There was something too in a previous mention of Double Dragon 2, like maybe in the feature they did it on or something, where I don't remember anything about that game necessarily. Just offhand, if you ask me to give you random facts about the game, there's not much I could probably spout, but. Like I read that and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. It was like one of those things like, Jar's memory. Yes, that's a thing for sure.
It's a funny. I've never used that. And like I said, I beat it recently and I just never did that. I just never felt the need. But I can see how it's
swinging dick, Jay. Real fucking impressive, bro.
I love Double Dragon.
Acumen. So we have video shorts coming down the pipe at us next, and then this is Taxon's 8 Eyes, the Falconer platformer that we've already talked about, and it gets a 68.75% on the power meter, and that's a bit of a stretch in my opinion. And then Culture Brain's Magic of Scheherazade.
Scheherazade? I don't know.
Yeah, it's an action. It's an Arabian-themed action RPG that gets a 71.25%. And I wasn't sure if I'd played this in my life or not, so I fired it up. And I had definitely never played it. It was all completely foreign. But I don't know, it was interesting. Like it's a little barren on the aesthetics front, I would say. But there is unquestionably some charm to it. And like I oddly wanted to keep pushing on further in the brief play that I had on it. Like the enemies were boring looking, spray art is a little basic, but there was just something about it that was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like you had to choose an Arabian class at the beginning, and that was interesting. So you had to choose between a fighter, a saint, or a magician to play as. So that's kind of cool and unique, So yeah, I don't know. Did you fuck with it at all or no?
Nah, man. I immediately did not want to play it due to what I'm calling the Ultima effect. You heard it here first. Meaning, if it's an adventure RPG that I have never heard of, I'm steering clear. There's a reason I've never heard of it. Nope. Skipping it.
It kind of like it's a game that honestly, oddly, that it's right next to it here in the mag, like that, and Tax and Eight Eyes is like they're a little bit the same thing in my mind. It's like they're games that just kind of run together, and I've never fucked with either enough to be able to differentiate. So yeah, like I said, I wasn't even sure if I'd played it or not. So, and it was not horrible, definitely for sure. After that, we have Data East Heavy Barrel, and that hit in March, so it is now fair game for Game Up territory shit. And this is a top-down military shmup with a absolutely lit co-op action going on with it that I remember quite fondly. Jab had the cart of this, and it's kind of, I would say, it's kind of the Akari Warriors 2.0 that Akari Warriors sequels never realized, is how I would describe this. Like, it's that idea. It has a pretty fun loot crate system where you get keys from dudes you frag, and there are like way more boxes to unlock than the keys you have. So you kind of have to make decisions, even though you have no clue what's in them, but it just makes you make quick choices, and that's keeps you engaged maybe more than your average scrolling shmup might, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, I think it would be an absolute blast to couch co-op for sure. So that's an intriguing thing. And they give it a 67.5%, and I think that is a low ball without a doubt compared to some of the other shit they've given similar scores to. So
I did not have the ROM for this, but it looks like my type of game.
Yeah, I'm almost certain you would dig this game, bro. I mean,
why not?
It's very, it's right up there it's right there with Jackal as far as quality and game type for sure. And for that, we have Ultra's Kings of the Beach. We've talked about it already. They give it a 72.5% on the meter here. And then we have long-awaited Trade West's Magic Johnson's Fast Fucking Break here. And the moment of reckoning is upon me. I've been shitting on this game from memory since we started this podcast, and now it's out. So now we're going to find out what's what. And yeah, I promised Jab many moons ago that if I played it and it was good, I would tweet Magic an apology. if I was in fact wrong. And the power meter they give it here is a 55%, and that's pretty fucking bad. So I was feeling super confident about my belief system before firing it up, dude. The title screen music is absolutely hilarious. Did not fit at all with the sports, it just did not fucking fit. And actually playing the game, no apology is necessary at fucking all. It is the Atari 2600 basketball game is better than this, and I fucking mean that from the bottom of my heart. It is infinitely more fun than this fucking game. Like, the game is absolutely unplayable. It's 2-on-2. It's a 2-on-2 game. The sprites are microscopic. Like, there is absolutely zero skill to playing the game that could translate to actual basketball strategy. Like, oh my fucking god, fuck this game, dude. It's like like, it's worth noting that the tip in the mag blurb is to cherry pick. That's the tip they give you. They tell you to inbound the ball all the way down the court for an easy lay-in, which they call the Showtime play of Magic Johnson, cherry picking. And yeah, that's tip they can give you. And it's also weird that they speak of Magic as one of the best players in the game, which is 1,000% accurate for the early 1990, but obvious that, so much has changed. Like now he's known for something so different, like it's just weird to see him spoken about with no mention of that context. It's just like, it's been so long since that was the case. It was fucking weird to me to read about it like that. Read about it from a 1990 perspective. I remember watching. What the hell was that? I was somewhere with my uncle, like some family shit on maybe. I don't know if it was our side of the family or my aunt's side of the family. But I remember sitting in this basement watching the 1992 All-Star game where he came back and played even after the announcement, and it was like a whole fucking thing. And I just remember sitting there and just riveted by watching that.
Everybody was. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, what in the fuck? Are you serious? Yeah, so that's what I think. Whenever I think of Magic, that's what I think about. Sitting there, 1990, I'm age 9, like trying to wrap your head around what all that means. Like, you can't do that.
Who would have thought decades later he'd still just be chilling and everything's going to be great?
Dude. It's like he was one of the guys in LA that got the fucking him and Arsenio Hall and I think one other person, Danny Trejo, I might have been the other person, getting the vaccine.
Oh, like, really?
On stage at like a vaccine awareness and whatever rally, So, yeah, like, I mean, just clearly fine. Clearly, totally fucking fine. But yes, this game is fucking absolute dog shit. Yeah,
you know what's funny though? Even playing NBA 2K, I haven't played it in pretty much since Outriders came out. But when I was playing it, like, I'm still looking for Magic Johnson as my point guard. Like, I'm still searching for like the high level Magic Johnson card because he's tall and he can be that playmaker I need. Like, so yeah, it
definitely back most point guards down for sure. Yeah, no question. Next is Taito's Target Renegade. This hit in March, and this is the sequel to the '88 release of Renegade, which I did not know was taken into franchise territory. I did not know that we had sequels to that, and like I thought Double Dragon was kind of. Which
was the sequel, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and there's like kind of looking up stuff about it. There seems to be some sort of like I don't know universe overlap in the canonical acknowledgement of these series, So whatever, who gives a shit about that, I guess. But interesting nonetheless. And they give it a 65% on the power meter. And I was not optimistic about this not sucking, but I fired it up anyhow. And the dude in the title screen pixel art has some wicked frosted tips.
Right?
This is a story time, Jay. I had some. Do you remember? Actually, I was living with you, so maybe you do remember. I had some frosted tips, circa 06 or 07. Yeah. So I was doing a shirtless waiter catering job for one of those model catering companies I worked with when I first got to the city. Mm-hmm. And I did this wild ass party in a really swanky apartment above the David Barton Gym on West 23rd Street, like West 23rd and 7th, maybe it is, in Chelsea. And they had hired the legendary burlesque dancer Dita Von Teese. I don't know if you know anything about burlesque dancing. I didn't know, other than everyone telling me that she was a legend in the burlesque dancing thing. It's funny. I would see her at the box too. At one point, she was dancing. So she's like a big name in that sequence, or that circuit rather. But anyways, they hired her to do a fucking show in a bathtub that was in the middle of this party. So
what?
Dita Von Teese was naked doing a burlesque show in a bathtub. I was walking around shirtless with hors d'oeuvres on a fucking platter. Me and a bunch, and actually John Bonavia, our mate John Bonavia's goofy ass, fucking football on the lamp dude, sleeping on the futon in the living room. Yeah, he was at that event, and probably some of the other cater dudes I'd worked a lot with. Yeah, it was a fucking wild ass party. So. I think they put us in towels. So I'm shirtless, and they put us just in towels with like an oversized safety pin on the side, I think I was wearing underwear underneath and probably some fucking flip flops or something. But so I'm walking around like that. All the model waiters are, and it's packed with all sorts of fucking ritzy ass New York fucking people. And I met a high-end hairdresser there that offered to cut my hair for free. And likely, I think it was because I had a really bad haircut at the time. I think I was super new there, and I couldn't find a good fucking haircut place. Like, I remember getting a haircut at the Best Cuts on like 79th and Broadway or some shit like that.
Oh yeah,
fucking haircut, and I think that's what I was rocking there. And I think I was aware of it, and then I think I got into a conversation this guy was with a few hot chicks, I believe, and. He was a gay hairdresser type, and so I was talking to all of them, and he was there, and I think he made maybe he didn't bring it up, maybe I did, but whatever the case, I want to say his name was Albert, I'm pretty sure, and we basically got to a conversation where he offered to do it for free because he didn't cut hair, he was just a dye person at this salon. It was on the east side, like 64th and fucking
Oh man,
Madison or
high
something.
end.
Super high end neighborhood, and yeah, super expensive place for sure. And based on my broke ass budget, anyways, they were all astronomical. But this place, I mean, I want to say like haircuts were like $100 at this joint if you got them normal. So he basically offered to convince this chick Darby, who would cut my hair for years, to do it at a discount, or to do the first haircut for free, and she gave me a player's price the rest of the time too. But he would have her do the haircut for free if I'd let him dye my hair. And that's how I got the frosted tips that time that I briefly had with them. Yeah. So like I remember I have a picture of it somewhere. I'll post it. That's great. I have that picture. I'll post this picture on our socials of me with the foil things in my hair and shit at the salon. I took a picture because it was pretty hilarious and the only time I've ever had my hair dyed like that in my life. So yeah, I did have these. But that's what this guy reminded me of. And the game, Target Renegade. So like you get the story set up. Some dude tells you to press fire to rumble, which is I fucking love that instead of press start or whatever. You know, that's cool. Or press start to play rather. But it's I don't know, I mean, let's see as far as gameplay goes, like it's no Double Dragon for sure.
Yeah.
But there is some charm once I kind of got the controls down. You know, that I don't know. I mean, they in the same way Double Dragon 2 kind of accomplishes a lot with a limited control set, I think it does a little bit here that's a higher delivery than what your expectation would be for 2 buttons and a D-pad, you know what I mean? So I was kind of mildly impressed about that, but graphically it's pretty ugly, I think. Like your sprite and animation are dog shit. And every enemy in the first level was the same identical sprite, which like they didn't even bother with color palette swapping. It was just the same fucking thing. So
I was turned off by that. I was like, come on. Like I feel like Double Dragon took a step forward and this was like a step back type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the first one of these was not good either. I didn't like it, but yeah, the a bunch of motorcycle guys in it, you know, and I think it's a thing too. I think both in the first one and this one, probably later, I think you can actually acquire the motorcycles and ride them in the stages, which is a cool mechanic that you know is cool. But you got to get further in the game than I was able to embrace that or to engage it rather. So that's Target Renegade, and then we have fucking this game. Dude, I hate this fucking game. LGN's Marvel's X-Men, and it's actually
we're playing this for the game app, right? We're playing this for the game app.
Fucking dick, Jay. This is actually called the Uncanny X-Men on release, even though it's been out since December. So they don't even get the fucking name of the game right in here. And just fuck them for this game. It's a 60% of the power meter, and I think that's being very, very, very generous. It's a top-down, vertically scrolling shmup in format. And I mean, dude, this era of X-Men is absolutely fucking lit. The team is Wolverine, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Iceman, Storm. And we're talking about Storm with a punk mohawk too, which was the coolest version of Storm, you know? So, you know, Wolverine's a fucking, he's a given. It's an easily my favorite X-Man. But I think Colossus is a sneaky second. Like, Colossus came in and out of the X-Men world.
Yeah.
A lot, actually, like more than surprisingly, I think he should have, because I think he's a very cool character. Like the whole thing of turning into titanium and shit, that's a very cool mechanic, you know? So, I always loved him a lot. So I felt, because he was underrepresented and because I liked him in the comics, I was excited that he was in this game. And dude, I remember running it in the game. Oh my God, it's just the polar opposite of lit.
You want to like it so bad. You want to like it.
It's oh God, man. It is. Yeah, whatever. The game is the opposite of lit. It's fully fizzled. A pissed on, ice cold strip club matchbook. That's what this game is in comparison to lit. Like, it's also got a couch co-op mode too. Which fuck, man, like a co-op X-Men from this awesome era of the comic would have been epic if it was a good game. And
it's failed on every count. Like if I tried it again and again, and if I'm like Cyclops, it's okay because I have a projectile, I can shoot things. If I'm not, then I'm like up close, and I'm just like, am I hitting you or am I getting hit?
Yeah, the hitbox.
I don't know what's happening.
Like, everything is erratic. There's fucking all sorts of fucking flickering and shit because this shitty ass fucking Indian. Yeah, it's just God. Work. Yeah, I got burned so badly by a rental of this as a kid, and I fucking hate LJN for it. This is.
Sounds like you have not resolved those issues to this day.
Yeah, I think
from LJN to work through this.
Right? Yeah, I might have rented it more than once when I was still young and stupid enough to be overwhelmed enough by good marketing to make idiotic decisions like that. I knew were going to turn out poorly. Like that's, so I was wrong multiple times, I believe, by this game. And like, oh God, it's just so fucking bad. And I just can't believe they botched that property. Like that is just such a.
Well, I think part of it too is I don't remember when the arcade version of the X-Men came out, but that game was so great.
Probably.
That's what I don't know. Like, because the arcade was so great.
A little before this, but
yeah,
it's the arcade game is great. And it's the same. It's the same characters. I think Colossus isn't that. Yeah, I think
it's all these same characters. That's why you kind of had hope. Like, okay, this is going to be fun, but it doesn't. Probably can't do the same thing.
They probably licensed the arcade version of this, would be my guess. Because it is the exact same team. Come to think of it, I believe.
But it just doesn't. It doesn't come together. You're not fighting people in a like Streets of Rage type of side-scrolling format, like it should be. This doesn't work. And I love that.
The entire time I'm not talking and you're talking about it, I'm gritting my fucking teeth, dude.
Moving on, X-Men. Sorry.
Fucking game. Next is some horse shit that was flung at us through the bars by the Acclaim Monkeys in February, and it is Destination Earthstar, which does such a good job of ripping off Star Wars without actually technically infringing on LucasArts IP that I mistyped the name of this as Destination Death Star.
Dude, I did the same thing. I was like, is this a Death Star? Like, they did that on purpose.
Yeah, they did it on purpose, for sure. The thing pictured is a Death Star, or is the Death Star, rather. Yeah, so I was looking up on Moby Games, and I that's what I typed when I did it. Just fucking, again, Freudian slip. And this is what you get when Acclaim, a licensing chop shop of a publisher, tries to do an original game, right? And the power meter is 55%, and I fired it up, fucking just beyond thrilled to be doing so. And this game is cool as fuck, dude. This game is cool as fuck, dude. It is super fucking cool. It's a cockpit POV flight sim, and it has a cool and effective radar system that I was able to sort the controls of, like a pretty fucking complex weapon and propulsion systems on intuition alone. I did not read the manual. You can warp around the radar, and there's planets and ships to deal with when you warp to places. And the enemy I encountered was a straight up, again, going back to the ripoff component of this, it was a straight up A-Wing knockoff. So, they were definitely just directly ripping off Star Wars shit as much as they could, that the lawyers said they could get away with. And like, I only know that, I'm not a Star Wars person, but I know that was an A-Wing because I would play an early PC game, like a mid-90s PC game that was a flight sim. They were called, there was TIE Fighter, I think, and X-Wing maybe was another one. And they were really fucking good games. And then I also had Rogue Squadron on N64, which was mind-blowing on the graphic front at the time. So I played enough Star Wars games to know what I was looking at. And, that's what definitely...
This is that.
This doesn't look anywhere near that great, of course, but like the systems are well enough done to overlook it all. Like it's super interesting and unique. And I don't know about a game app, but considering I expected like literally nothing from this, I was pretty fucking blown away, man. I was really impressed.
I will never believe anything you say about the types of games you like anymore. You're like, I hate flying games. Multiple flying games. You're like, these are fun flying games. Like, come on now. Like,
that should earn me points, dude. That I'm willing to look at it up objectively and take them into account as each their own little problem sets. Man, that should be commended, not rated. Jay.
Fine. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, definitely worth taking a look at, dude. I mean, it may not. It's the kind of game that I'm sure isn't for everyone because it is like a rather. It's not just flying around shooting shit, which some people probably would want and expect of a game like this, but I was intrigued for sure. And then we have that Asmic tennis game we were both impressed by in the last Game Pro after that, and they give it a 67.5 on the power meter, which I think personally is kind of shortchanging it on the tennis game scale. And then we have HAL's Vegas Dream that dropped in March, and this is another fucking casino sim. So many of these, like it's kind of shocking how many of these are.
Yeah.
And they give it a 62.5, and there's a decent amount of effort put into the presentation of this, I think, like the title screen and stuff, but I mean, it's just fucking casino games and fuck that noise, Yeah. Meh. And high-tech's adaptation of game show Win, Lose, or Draw is next, and like, fuck, man, I can't think of much that is less suited for the NES adaptation, you know what I mean? Like,
right?
like frantically drawing which is what win, lose, or draw is. You're timed. You're given. It's kind of Pictionary-ish. Like you're given a thing that you need to communicate to your team, and they need to guess it. And you have time on it, so you got to frantically draw something, and like you need a stylus or some kind of precision pointer control. Like you're not gonna frantically draw something with the fucking NES controller. It's not happening. You know what I mean?
But that's what makes this worse, because you're identifying a computer drawn thing. Like that's what makes it worse here. Like that's even less fun. Like who wants to do that? You know?
Yeah. Great,
Why are we splitting up teams to guess? Like this is no thanks.
Do you not draw it in there? Am I misremembering what?
No, that's what it says. It says here's fun for the whole family. Identify a computer drawn object before time runs out. Because they didn't have the technology for you to draw apparently with your cursor yet, or at least maybe they tried it and it was terrible, so that's why it's computer drawn.
I think you might be misspeaking there. I think when you play PvP in this, I think you draw this. I'm not sure.
I mean, that's what it says in Nintendo Power. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe they changed it on actual release. I don't know.
Or maybe even Nintendo Power just didn't bother to play it when they fucking roasted it.
Very possible.
So they give it a 55 on the power meter, and you don't often see much lower than that, so that's not a good testament. And then we have some more game show bullshit from High Tech after that. MTV's Remote Control, but that is thankfully not out till May, so maybe we'll never have to deal with it. I don't know. Maybe we'll never see it again. Although MTV, Viacom, I feel like that's not the case. They probably spent some marketing dollars on it. So we'll have to deal with it. But we get Konami's Top Gun sequel coming at us next, and it's listed here as Top Gun 2, but the release titling was actually Top Gun: The Second Mission. So again, they're getting titles wrong on a game, you know. And the blurb mentions a split screen 2-player mode, which was not in the first, and that sounds pretty fucking cool. So I was like, okay. And it also touts adding a barrel roll move, and that is like I have the card, had it as a kid, and I have it again. Just even though I know it's not a good game, I got it. I think it maybe in a package of stuff. I probably wouldn't have sought it out specifically, or maybe I still had it in my NES collection with Ted. I don't know. Whatever, I have it. And like one of the things that is my biggest gripe about it, like I remember not being able to turn past 45 degrees. And that really, like a flight sim, like that's a severe limitation, for turning, and like not being able to turn faster than it just, it was one of the really bad control weak points of that game for sure. So that was, they took user feedback and improved upon it in 2 cases. That's cool. And they give it a 76.25% on the power meter, and that's pretty fucking high praise. So I never really fucked with this, and despite owning the first. So I did fire it up. Did you play it?
I did, and I surprisingly did not hate it. Like, I feel like if I read if I actually took the time to read the manual, I might like this game, because I was actually flying and shooting things down. Like, it was kind of fun.
I don't know, man. Like,
it was all right. I didn't say I loved it, but it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, it's. I'm not saying it's a dumpster fire or anything. Like I said, I will play the first one, even though you can't fucking refuel. And stage 3. But yeah, so like, I don't know, man. Like if you're really into this shit, like you might dig it, but I was not. I don't know. Like the game speed is right, and I guess it looks fine, but it just isn't fun.
I expected to hate it, and I didn't absolutely hate it. So I was like, okay, that's all right. That was all right.
Accommodation. I did not absolutely. And then we have a Data East joint that dropped in February, Dash Galaxy and the Alien Asylum, and that is a wild-ass name, so I was kind of piqued a little bit by it. And it's an action game with both side and top-down viewpoints to it, and that's kind of interesting. The power meter is a meager 61.25%. That is not very exciting. So I plunged myself into the volcano anyways, and yeah, man, it has a pretty quirky little intro cinematic where you roll up to a rocket ship on a barren lunar surface in a little convertible Cadillac-esque car, which is kind of fun and cute. Reminded me a little bit of Space Quest kind of vibe. Roger Wilco, Space Quest, the Sierra games, point-and-click games, which are fun and mildly humorous. But the game is an absolute trash fire. It's just like... I was momentarily intrigued by the top-down thing going on at the start, which was kind of a little Adventures of Lola-like. You push a bush to get in, like some little puzzler type thing. But the side-scrolling part was horrific, like absolutely horrific. So, can't recommend that one. And then we have that wacky-ass pinball game. Did you have something about that?
No, I was just saying, I had no desire. I looked at the name of that. strictly from the presentation in the mag, I was skipping Dash Galaxy. Like, no,
Really?
I'm not even.
The name made me go,
like,
oh.
like if I pulled up this magazine and I'm looking at this and you're trying to get me excited, I'm just like, no. There's nothing about that. The power meter, the picture, the name, that all just spells like some stuff you threw together in like 4 weeks, and we're like, let's get this out on the market.
A plagiarized project for sure. So yeah, then we have that wacky ass pinball game from NTVIC. It's a terrible fucking company name. And we saw that a while back, Rock and Ball, and they give it a 57.5 on the power meter, which is probably about right. And the last page is a total no-fly zone. It is Electro Brain's Puss in Boots, which is described.
You didn't love Puss in Boots, dude?
Which is it's described as, this is in quotations, it's described as good for someone that's just starting out on action-oriented games. And I was like, okay, this is for small children and it's not any good. Got it. So I took
it's very much a kiddie game.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't hate it either, but it was very like
yeah.
very even the music like like it was very just kind of like happy. I don't know.
Yeah, baby's first platformer.
Shooting little like bullets at whatever flying cat with like a knife was coming at you. I don't know, or sword. It was, I don't know. It was funny and cute, and we're never playing it again.
Right. Yeah, and then they have a couple of Fisher Price games by Game Tech that are clearly for teaching borderline infants how to start cognitive function. So I of course didn't fuck with those either. But I'm sure they were great learning tools. You have to go out and spend $60 on that for your fucking toddler.
At that point, you just want Nintendo games. Like, you want every game that's out there. Like,
exactly.
There's no justification.
And then we have NES Achievers coming at us next, and we only have a handful of Ohioans in here this time around. We have Thomas C. Wesley of the Dirty Natty. He rocked out on some old school Galaga with almost 900K, which sounds like a lot for Galaga. And then we have Michael Campana of Poland, Ohio, which I'd never heard of, and he did 5 million in Guardian Legend, which there is a score, but that's another game. You're talking about Mega Man. Like, I wouldn't even think to pay attention to score there, but whatever. And then we have Michelle Summers of Cebus, cracked 4 million in Robo Warrior. Do you know Michelle, Jay?
No, I didn't know Michelle.
Too bad, bro. You could have borrowed her Robo Warrior cart. And lastly, we have one Rusty Odell of Mingo Junction, Ohio. And Rusty has vanquished the Dragon Lord and restored peace to Tanagel in Dragon Warrior. And that makes him a brother in arms in more ways than one. So, with Rusty's accomplishment, and more importantly, the geographic location of it, that brings us to our Ohio geography lesson for this issue. And what is your guess, Jay? Where is Mingo Junction located?
Mingo Junction, dude. I'm thinking this is either, it's not going to be south towards West Virginia, because I know that area. I feel like it's got to be, but I feel like if it was north on the way to Cleveland, then I would know that. I would have heard of it. So it's got, but I've also driven to New York a ton of times. So it's got to be like north of Dayton, south of Toledo, or like in between. I don't know. It's got to be up there.
That's northwest.
Somewhere. Yeah, it's got to be up there somewhere, I'm thinking. In the nowhere zone.
So that's wrong. The
Mingo Junction, southwest, like east of Cincinnati, maybe.
Also wrong. Mingo Junction is a village nestled on one of the easternmost parts of the Ohio River in Jefferson County near Steubenville. So central and east, right, dude, literally right on the border of West Virginia. So like I mean, it's I don't think it. I'm sure
exactly where I said it's not.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, like you were talking about driving to New York, and like from Columbus, do you take 70 for part of the way? Yeah. So I don't think I ever drove from Columbus. Well, I probably did actually. In any event, yeah, I mean, I would think 70 probably blows right by it. I'm sure it doesn't have its own fucking.
Yeah, there's no sign.
Yeah, it doesn't have an exit sign for Mingo Junction. Yeah, Mingo Junction would stand out, right? So the population was 35,540 at the time of the 2010 census, so just 3,500 people. Its nickname is listed as Little Vegas for no logical reason whatsoever that I was able to glean from the wiki. There's nothing about gambling at all mentioned otherwise. So fucking weird. And their motto,
underground house, like gambling ring that goes
Maybe.
on that people
I
just that's part of their community.
Maybe that is honestly the most logical like justification for it. That I didn't come up with anything better, so we'll take yours. And their motto is "There's no living without Cornelius Ray." So I read that and I'm like, I don't know who Cornelius Ray is. So I'm looking through the wiki, and there is no other mention of this man's name in the entire wiki for the town, including there's a list of notable people, and there's no explanation of why this is the motto. So I Googled his name and the town name, and also turned up 0 returns. So what in the fuck? Who is fucking Cornelius Ray? He must be the guy that runs an underground fucking casino. I guess. Yeah, it's maybe
somebody
the best guess.
from Mingo Junction. We gotta find out.
Yeah, we gotta try. Cornelius Ray, if you listen to this podcast, shoot us a fucking email, isohg podcast, whatever, gmail.com, whatever. I'll say it later. Fucking, or like the Facebook page, whatever, bro. And so on a more probably interesting to you topic, someone who was in the notable people list was Woody Hayes, Jay. He's of Ohio State football, rather, fame. He coached in Mingo Junction at one point before becoming the Ohio State head coach. Yeah. So wow, that's probably the biggest thing they got going, again, besides the casino.
Sure.
And, well, no, check that. That's a lie. So so best picture Academy Award winner, The Deer Hunter, which stars Robert De Niro, Meryl Streep, and Christopher Walken, was filmed at the steel mill in Mingo Junction. And it's basically, the steel mill is basically why the city was founded and is the main, if not only reason it became an incorporated village at all, is because of this one steel mill. So they filmed that there, and there was either 1 or 2 other movies that also filmed there. So pretty, I don't know exactly why that would be the case. Like, I don't know. I honestly, even from a producing standpoint, like Ohio did not have a tax credit back then. I just cannot come up with a reason why they would have chosen this place.
Maybe somebody was going through there and they saw it and they were like, "Perfect, this is the place, man."
Right.
Yeah,
and back then a director could get off with that, like just be like, "Nope, gotta have that. That's the one. We got to go to Mingo Junction, or I'm not doing the scene." Yeah, exactly. Right. So that wraps up our Ohio JR If You Listen segment, brought to you by your mom. NES Journal is next, and they have a lame trivia quiz first, then the Nintendo Power Jersey Design Contest results. And they show, did you look at this? Did you really pick this apart, Jay? So they show 8 designs that were some of the best and say that Jack Ra of Clifton, New Jersey won, but do not specify which, if any, of the pictured designs are his, right? So they also say that as soon as we run out of the current jerseys, new ones will be printed based on Jack's design. So I don't know. I'm just curious if that ever happened. And like the only thing I can come up with is that like they wanted to keep his, like they didn't put his here, and they wanted to keep the secret because they were gonna, I don't know, they didn't want to have their fucking jersey design sniped, So
I didn't even notice that. That's yeah.
I'm curious if they ever got printed because they're putting the qualifier here that they have to sell these other ones first, that we always see Howie in, and like that's not a very appealing model.
Yeah,
I don't want to look like Howie. A little on the Nintendo World Championship Tour comes next, announcing the game cart they're using for the competition, and then some of the latest video designer gear. And they have a bike alarm here that sounds incredibly obnoxious. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show hitting VHS, which is kind of hot. I would have been excited about maybe. And then a hard plastic Game Boy case that Jab did have, and I remember him sporting around. And it's got like a little fucking strap on the shoulder, like a shoulder bag kind of deal, And then they also have, maybe most notably in here, the Fourscore, which was the wired version of the infrared NES satellite, the 4-player thing, right? So they have the. Actually, when I was back home, I fucking got on my uncle's case, and it's sitting in a box on his. I flew Spirit Airlines home, which I don't know if you've ever done. It's the shittiest.
Oh no!
Don't. Yeah, it's so fucking bad. They're the only fucking airline that had a direct from LAX to Cleveland, though. The only one, which is fucked up in so many ways. So yeah, hopefully the last time I ever have to fucking fly Spirit, it was such an awful experience in every possible way. They constantly try to back you into a corner on things and to make you like this constantly. It's just like gross how often they try to do it to you. It's so bad. Anyways, you fly Spirit, and you can basically only pack a fucking sandwich baggie of shit, unless you want to pay them more money. And like because it's such a shitty airline, I refuse to. So I packed accordingly. And I literally like the box that the infrared satellite or the infrared that the NES satellite that my uncle had it in to ship, I literally could not fit in my bag to bring home. So he still has to mail it, even though I was back home, which is funny. You should do. I carry it. So I found that New Mutants '98 that I sold. I literally put it in a shopping bag and carried it. I couldn't fit it in my bag either. No, I probably wouldn't have wanted to because you don't want that to get fucked up. It's like a collectible. Right. But like I literally put it in a fucking plastic grocery bag and carried it like, like a precious thing all the way through the airport on the plane, all the way, on the ride home because I couldn't fit it in my luggage. So
that's crazy.
Terrible experience. Anyways, the whole point is Uncle Ted's sending me the fucking NES satellite, and I cannot wait to get it so I can stop having dogs rip the fucking shit off my thing. I'm super stoked to finally get it. But this was the wired one. And then they do their celebrity profile, and it's on Sarah Gilbert, the ultra snarky middle daughter on Roseanne. And the only other thing I can think of her ever being in is High Fidelity, which is hands down my favorite John Cusack movie. Do you know High Fidelity, bro?
I don't remember it. I know I've seen it, but it's
High Fidelity is
my favorite, so I don't remember the details.
It's the one where he's constantly ripping off top fives for things. He owns a record store, and like him and his buddy, they constantly do like top five this, top five that, top five, and it's like a clever little mechanic. I mean, it's based on a book. It's not like they fucking made it for the movie, but the book's pretty good too. But anyways, she was in that. She played the girlfriend of the weird little buddy of Cusack's. The not Jack Black buddy. And it actually makes total sense going through here and looking at her career because she's apparently from Hollywood royalty. Her grandfather was the creator of sitcom legend The Honeymooners, and her older sister scored a star on the Walk of Fame, being the daughter on Little House on the Prairie, which was a show my dad watched that I fucking hated.
I did not know that. My mom watched it, so I hated that show, but watched so much of it too. Oh,
so
on Sundays I would just search
Michael Landon. The second I saw his face, I was like, oh fuck. Yeah, that show's terrible. But it was not thought as terrible by many people, I guess. Big deal. So she's like, what that translates to me is like, she didn't need to work. Like, I don't need to work. Like, all right, especially with the Roseanne thing, like I can do whatever the fuck I want. Just off the residuals of that, plus family money. So she does offer a hot tip for the first Super Mario Brothers. If you're big, you can just kamikaze right through the dragon, i.e. Bowser at the end to save the princess. So great tip, Sarah. She has a painfully forced series of quotes about a boy and his blob at the end that was so weird and clearly just forced down her throat.
It's a great idea for a game. Like, idea for a game.
Yeah. But I mean, just such an, I don't know, like such a weird, there's no way she had played it yet. It wasn't out, there's just no way.
And the way that she's talking about, it's
clearly force-fed, spoon-fed to her for sure.
But she still gave low reviews though. So like, she did play it, but she's like, 1.5 on gameplay control. That should tell you a lot.
Did you? I don't think I clocked that. That's funny. I don't think I clocked that. I think I must have weaned off the paragraph before I got to the end of it. Maybe, I don't know. But so then we have Pack Watch, and it gives us a look into the future of NES game packs next. And we have Ninja Gaiden 2 in here, Crystallis, we already mentioned earlier at the CES thing, and Rescue Rangers, Maniac Mansion again, Castlevania 3 again, and that's just some of the upcoming heat covered in there. And then we have some back issue ordering action, which I used to just stare at this and wish I could get them all.
Look at those cool covers. I need them. They got great tips.
Yep. And then we get the next issue tease, and they're teasing more Final Fantasy, a bigger thing on that. And then Dino Wars and Barai Fighter and Super C. Those are the big things. And then the Final Fantasy's blurb reads, "You'll need all the help you can get to get through this epic RPG adventure. We'll unfold the story behind this massive quest." And I can see the few pages in my mind already without having opened that issue in quite some time. Like that's this feature in the next issue is fucking hot for Final Fantasy for sure. So that's exciting. And then we have the thing I've been bugging everybody about on social media and via text message for the last week. The 1989 Nintendo Power Awards ballot is the last thing in the issue here. And we will now cast our ballots so we can refer to them later when the winners are announced. And the first category is Best Graphics and Sound. And let me get the nominations going here for this. We have DuckTales, Guardian Legend, Mega Man 2, Ninja Gaiden, and Strider. And so we got, in addition to, we'll say ours here, and Jab finally got his in last second, the little twat, right before we had, even though I've been asking for them all week. So we have all three of ours to talk about. And then I also encouraged listeners to send in results, and we actually got, and despite, it took some bugging, but we did the Google form thing. I think streamlined it and made it easy for people, and we got some pretty good engagement on that. So I'll also throw in the kind of the field, basically, which will also include these percentages will also include our votes too. So it's like the full
all up.
Yep.
Total.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, the first category is Best Graphics and Sound, and that's one thing I would say about the nominations. I don't feel like Ninja Gaiden belongs here personally. Like, I think it's a great game, and I think the cinematics are beautiful, but I think the in-game stuff isn't kind of, and I'm sure it's there because of the cinematics, I guess, but the in-game stuff is pretty messy, I think, and I think that's misplaced to be here. But
I could go either way for me.
Jay, what is your selection for Best Graphics and Sound?
Pretty sure I chose Mega Man 2. With DuckTales is like a close second.
Word. I can actually, I guess, pull them up here. And yeah, Mega Man 2. And then Jab went Ninja Gaiden 2, so he's leaning on the cinematic thing. I went DuckTales here.
Yeah, DuckTales is close.
Very close. DuckTales look great. And the field chose Mega Man 2 with 57.1%.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a little bit of Ninja Gaiden and DuckTales coming up after that, but I mean, it's probably less than a quarter of the 57.1 that Mega Man 2 got. So pretty unanimous.
I mean, it's graphics and sound. When I think about what games do I resonate with, was it fun and like those songs ring in my head, it's those two games: Mega Man 2, DuckTales. Ninja Gaiden's more just like the cinematics, but not like I don't recall the music and all that.
Ninja Gaiden has good music, I think, but it's nowhere. It's not as good as Mega Man 2 or DuckTales for sure. I totally agree there. So the next category is Best Challenge, and it's like, I posted that initially, and people kept writing that challenge things. I thought the first comment that
oh man,
said Best Challenge, I thought it was just like a robot that, like I didn't notice this in the magazine. So yeah, they're missing the H in the mag. It just says Best Challenge as the category heading, and I hadn't caught that yet. Yeah. So the first engagements of the socials was like, what are these people talking about?
It's funny when they find things that we don't notice, and it's like, hey, what? Like,
yeah, very fun. So yeah, so this actually brings up a minutia debate to me. Like does Best Challenge mean most challenging or most enjoyable challenge? And because it says in the description, it says not too easy, not too hard. You know what I mean? So like the actual criteria for this.
Yeah, it's tough because I think I went Mega Man 2 again because it definitely is a challenge. And even when I replayed it again through the Mega Man collection that I own on Xbox now, like Zion actually was playing it again last weekend, and like it's still a challenge when you get to Dr. Wily's castle. Like it's still a challenge there, and so like. But at the same time, I know Ninja Gaiden is probably even more challenging. Like it's more challenging,
difficult.
Sure. Yeah, but I think that also makes it less fun. So I think I would still go Mega Man because I think maybe Ninja Gaiden's it's more challenging, but like
right.
I don't know if that's the best challenge though.
Exactly. And I think their qualifier of middling the not too hard, not too easy thing. I think that to me meant exactly that. And I think, and honestly, so like Ninja Gaiden won in a landslide here in the field, but I think it's because I bet people didn't read that. You know what I mean? That's and that makes sense because they're
especially if you're going fast, you're like best challenge, freaking Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, precisely, exactly. right. So yeah, Mega Man 2 for you. Jab actually went Tetris here, which is interesting. I think. And then I went Mega Man 2 as well. And then the actual percentage was 57.1 as well, actually, for best challenge. So next category is best theme, fun. And this is another one that I think like requires a little bit of thought to decide what your criteria are, in my opinion. And it says this is based on the storyline and catching your imagination, in quotations. So I let that guide my decision. And what did you go with, Jay?
Based on that, I'm gonna guess that you said Dragon Warrior, and I went with DuckTales.
Affirmative. And Jab actually went with Mega Man 2.
Okay.
Yes, very, very, very correct. The
like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would be it for me, but it was so hard. The first one was hard. Like it was a hard game. So like it was fun, but it was also freaking hard. So the other games are more fun overall for me.
Word. Well, you're part of the majority, Jay. You are DuckTales. Also at 57.1%, which is interesting. Interesting that we keep hitting that number. And the next category is best play control. And this is one too that like I didn't think of. Like, there was nothing in the blurb that guided me really. I was just kind of thinking like for face value what it was. But when I started looking at some of the answers, I thought it made me think a little more about it. We'll get there once we get into the actual responses. What I would say for sure is I think it's very fucking weird that Stealth ATF is in all these lists, or in so many of these lists rather.
Yeah.
Like Stealth ATF is not a good game. Like not even a little bit good.
Like look at that top 30 list. Pick any other of those games.
Right, yeah. So,
like just take the top 10 and shuffle them.
Right, yeah.
So They're gonna hit more often than
I felt like it was paid placement or something, maybe. But so what was your
I'm pretty sure I went with Tetris here because you're just controlling blocks. That it just feels like an odd category to be comparing those,
Well, that was my thing. Like that's why. So I went with Mega Man.
Okay.
Here and Jab went with DuckTales. And my thinking was like Tetris probably because like Steve actually with the Frankenculture podcast also went Tetris, and there were a few other in there too that voted for Tetris. And like if you went on just like raw, I don't know, quantified data of like accuracy with input to on-screen output, Tetris probably that makes sense to me. But I think what you're trying to do, I think there's so much more nuance with a platformer, an action platformer, that is harder to make work well. That the level of good control you have with Mega Man 2 or DuckTales, like I think to me that puts it ahead of Tetris, and that was my logic there.
I can see Mega Man 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the field on that was Mega Man 2 with an even 50%.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tetris got then Tetris and DuckTales each got about a quarter of the other votes. So next category is best character, and they give you 10 options here. So which I guess I've been reading the fucking nominations, but so best character options are they have all four turtles each having their own thing. I think that's lame. But so they have all four turtles. They have Godzilla, and then Mega Man, and Link, and Ryu Hayabusa, so Ninja Gaiden, and then Uncle Fester and Uncle Scrooge. Uncle Fester is a super weird one to me. I mean, he is a unique and fun character, but he seems a little out of place.
I think from the game, because the game was so fun, like Uncle Fester's Quest, like a hard game, but it was a memorable game enough for me that like
Sunsoft.
You know what I mean? That I recall it. Otherwise, like if it wasn't for that game, it'd be like, what? This is random, but the game is memorable. So
yeah. I think if you want to put turtles here, I think Leonardo shouldn't make the cut, personally.
Dude, you know what? As a toy, and even when I would play like Turtles 2, 3, 4, I would choose him first because the swords are fun. Like you're going to be slicing and dicing, like that's cool. Personality wise, no, but give me the sword. Swords are fun.
Okay. So,
but that's not who I chose here.
Not. Yeah.
I mean, Michelangelo is a fun dude. He's pizza. He's cowabunga. Like I'm pretty sure I chose Michelangelo.
I liked Michelangelo the most as a little kid too. As I got older, I became more Donatello minded because I like he's the tech dude. I think that's cool. But as you can see with my Outriders choice, like that appeals to me. But as a little kid watching the cartoon and shit, I remember liking Michelangelo the most for sure. He had the most character
Yeah,
So
and it just says best character. It doesn't say like the strongest or the whatever. It's just like,
sure.
he's a cool character.
Who do you like most, right? Yeah. So yeah, Jab actually went Donatello too, which doesn't surprise me at all. And I went Uncle Scrooge here. I think Uncle Scrooge is super fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
See that.
So the best character, the top. This was a very, just having more options would lend itself to this, but this was a pretty diversified thing. But it ended up being Link who got the most votes.
Okay, he was going to be my second choice. I was like, Link is hard. He was number 2 for me, actually.
Okay, word. And the next category is best ending, and the options here are DuckTales, Mega Man 2, Ninja Gaiden, The Adventures of Lolo, which is a weird one to me, and like that makes me, that game is fun, it's a cute game and it's a fun little puzzler, and I've been intrigued by it from square one. The idea that it might have like a great ending never would have even kind of occurred to me. So that's super intriguing to hear. And then Zelda 2 is the last one. So those were the 5 options. And Jay, you went with...
Definitely went Mega Man 2 here.
Mega Man 2. I also went Mega Man 2. Jab, in typical cunty Jab fashion, just abstained because he never beat any of the games, which I guess is responsible of him. I applaud that in a real-world voting context. So I guess I shouldn't talk shit about it here either. But in any event, that is where we went. And then the field was Zelda 2 by a pretty wide margin. No, second place was Mega Man 2. And then we got a couple evens with Ninja Gaiden and The Adventures of Lolo. Yeah, we got Steve with Frankenculture went Adventures of Lolo. And I thought that was interesting. Choice by him. So maybe we can ask him what that game gets like. It's like at latter stages, yeah. So the next category is best PvP, best player versus player, and we got a whole new, this is like the one that's there's a lot of overlap in the nominations and all the other categories. This is one that's kind of its own outlier and its own subset of options. So the games available are Baseball Stars, Hoops, and Marble Madness, and then Super Dodgeball and Tecmo Bowl. So a lot of sports action in there. Yeah. And Jay?
This is a tougher one, but I went Super Dodgeball.
You did.
Like Super Dodgeball is fun, but obviously Tecmo Bowl is good. Hoops. Yeah, some good games. I like Hoops, but I went Super Dodgeball.
Word. I went Marble Madness here, which probably wouldn't be a surprise to any regular listeners of ours. And Jab went Tecmo Bowl, which is nothing wrong with that. And the field chose Tecmo Bowl as well. Actually, sorry, no. Super Dodgeball and Tecmo Bowl tied.
Okay.
And then Marble Madness in second place, and a little bit of Baseball Stars action there. Hoops had no votes.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So, in the last and biggest deal category is best overall, and we get another kind of just like the more modern Academy Award category. They have an expanded number of options here with 10, and they have Dragon Warrior, DuckTales, Xanadu, Guardian Legend, Mega Man 2, Ninja Gaiden, Stealth ATF, get the fuck out of here, Tetris, TMNT, and Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. So those are the options. And Jay, hi man, this is one of the lesser suspenseful things I think for you. I feel
you already know where I'm going. Mega Man 2.
Right. And Jab and I both went Dragon Warrior, also probably without much drama or fanfare to it. And the field chose,
guessing Zelda,
Mega Man 2.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's Mega Man 2, 50%, and then every other thing just had one vote.
Wow.
So yeah, very sizable margin.
2 by a wide margin. Yeah. Fan fave.
So that is the 1989 Nintendo Power Award recount by the Imperial Schools of Honor podcast. When the results come out, I think it might be the next issue, maybe not. Whenever they fucking hit, we'll revisit these and see how these answers kind of compare to what the voters at the time decided. We'll see how much perspective has changed in 30 fucking years. So that that's Nintendo Power 11, and what a great fucking issue. Now we will talk about our nominations for what we're gonna play from this issue.
That was the title theme from Double Dragon 2, bringing us into the nominations. Josh, what are you thinking, man? What is on the docket?
You want me to go first? Okay. Well, it's obvious that we got to put Super Mario Brothers in this conversation. There's no getting around that. So that's first, of course. And then I have kind of some oddball stuff for me, a bunch of shooter action or shmup action, rather. I have Heavy Barrel and Super C. And even with that thing behind you, and me having put this there and given the options that we have in the conversation, like we do these things in isolation, these lists, and then we convene and we have conversations for 4 hours in some cases, sometimes less, and cast things in different light, and thinking about the fact that Super C is on the next cover issue. And we've talked about that before, having the reluctance of like having done a game before it was on the main feature in the mag, and like that's kind of stupid, I think. So I kind of want to omit Super C from this conversation, even though I wrote it down here at one point. So what we're really talking about here is Super Mario Bros. 3 and Heavy Barrel on my end, and that's kind of a lopsided conversation. So, those are my nominations. That's kind of where I stand in them. I think the Heavy Barrel co-op action will be a fucking blast, So it's not that I'm discounting that. And, honestly, Super Mario Bros. 3 is a lot. But it is Super Mario Bros. 3. So that's kind of where I stand on mine. Jay, what do you got? What do you got for us?
A very similar list. So I clearly said Super C at first, for the reasons we said before. I pretty 99% sure I did not beat it. I definitely played it thoroughly. I definitely did not beat it. So it would be fun co-op it. But yeah, I mean, if it's a main feature in the next mag, then we might be missing out on some stuff if we do it now.
Precisely.
And then obviously Super Mario Brothers 3, like how do we not put it on the list? But then I'm like, it's a lot. Like, do we allow ourselves to skip worlds? Like, do we got to go world by world though? Like, I feel like that's going to take longer than 2 weeks. Like, I have kids. Like, I can fly through it. You know what I mean? But it's like there's so many levels. I don't know. So maybe we do it. Might take some more time.
Yeah. Well, it's the beauty of not having a Patreon is, I'm enjoying the stuff. It's not that I'm like, not that someone's waiting on the edge of their seat pining for our next podcast episode, but like, if we don't get to it, we don't get to it. And we take another week. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. But it's fun though, because playing through Super Mario 3D World, like I said, which feels like the updated fast forwarded version of a game like this that this came from, it gives me the appreciation for like this game. It makes me kind of want to go back and play it, even the music and stuff. So yeah.
Here's also a format based argument against it. Mm-hmm. Is not to say that we're going to do them, but like I'm saying, like magazine episodes on them, the strategy guides, but the strategy guide isn't out yet, so we shouldn't be using that for Super Mario Bros. 3 here. And it's not like we have to fear not seeing Super Mario Bros. 3 again in these magazines. So it will be available to us every single episode for the next maybe ever
several months.
Yeah. So
until Mario World starts coming revelation.
Precisely. Yeah. So yeah, it's not going anywhere. So if we tabled it until that guide was out, and then we could maybe use the guide as some of our, obviously a lot of the stuff we're posting and talking about, and we could use it. Could even maybe stream that with the guide, So that talking about it like that makes me also maybe kind of want to. So what was your third though? What did you say your third was?
My third was Xerxes.
No way,
dude. Because I mean, like I said, I was into it. Like, colorful sprites, why not? But yeah, the difference between wanting to do Super C and Mario Brothers and even Heavy Barrel, like compared to that, it's there's a gap.
So yeah, maybe we can convince ourselves Heavy Barrel on that, and then we'll have a couch co-op jam session, which is fun. And
I could always couch co-op.
That's mindless stuff that will take your mind off all these taxing Ultima responsibilities that you have that lay before you. So it will be a nice transition from that, where Super Mario Bros. 3 I think is a more involved. It's clearly not RPG-ish, but there is just more
A
involvement.
lot
I think.
more stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I'm into Heavy Barrel. I'm into it.
okay. So let's do Heavy Barrel. So more drama in this than I think either one of us could have possibly predicted. You know, more analytic thought devoted to it than I think we probably expected to. So cool. All right, let's do fucking Heavy Barrel then. That's fun.
Yes.
And so that will be next, and then the next issue after that will be Game Pro issue 8, and we should have the next Ultima Side Quest installment before then, if Jab and fucking Jay here stop being sissies about questing. And you can subscribe to the pod on the platform provided by whatever dumbass company that shows up your pottery. Please rate and leave positive shit for the pod on that podcast platform of choice, or any other for that matter. The website is nyehentertainment.com/ISOH pod. You can email us directly at isohpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow the pod on Facebook. You can link to the YouTube gameplay videos playlists that are in the show notes. And there is the ISOH subreddit if you want to get down with us on Reddit. And we do not have a Patreon, like I am always quick to point out. But if you like giving money to things podcasters tell you to, and would like to do so at our direction, the Able Gamers Foundation creates custom gaming rigs for gamers with disabilities, and that is cool as fuck. And ablegamers.org is where you can find them. Jay, what are your socials?
Gentleman JB without the second E. That's where you can find me. It's my gamer tag. That's where you can catch me on the Facebook group.
And my Twitter is @JoshFolan. My Instagram is @MyShiftKeyIsBroke. My gamer tag is 2Minute Todd. Okay, bye.
See ya.